1969-70 season of these two clubs being vying for the top two positions in the table. It's certainly one of the most eagerly awaited meetings of the Super League season, so let's check out the team lineup straight away. And Daryl Powell has made a couple of little changes to the starting lineup from what was announced about half an hour ago. The backs are, as we knew, Tansey, Dixon, Gibson, Shenton, Carney, Sneed and Finn. The subtle changes have been made in that Adam Milner now will start, Darrell Clark goes to the bench, and Frankie Mariano takes the place of Craig Hewby, who also goes to the bench. Obviously, they have been out there and they've been training and they've been warming up for this in the rain, and Daryl Powell has decided to make those couple of changes. So there's Hewby, Millington, Haraki and Clark. That is a formidable interchange bench for coach Daryl Powell. Leeds, no late changes for them. Hardacre at fullback. Ben Jones-Bishop gets a start because Ryan Hall's got a slight back strain. Then it's Watkins, Moon and Briscoe, Ablett and Maguire. And up front, well, it's as you were against Wigan last week. Luluwai, Sinfield and Peacock, whether Sinfield will operate at dummy half and at hooker all the way through, we'll have to wait and see. Clarkson did last week, and he is in the second row with Achurch, and Delaney is the loose forward. And on the bench for the Rhinos, Stevie Ward returns, Ryan Bailey, it's 300 up for him tonight, Sutcliffe, Singleton, and the coach is Brian McDermott. So the Leeds Rhinos in their change jerseys tonight. An epic contest with Wigan last Friday. The Rhinos' rock-solid defence, it really does set them apart from the rest in Super League this year. But the Tigers, well, 12 months in charge for Daryl Powell, and a win would delight him, the 48-year-old coach, against his former club. And out come the Tigers, and they are joined by Evan Pickering, the Castleford mascot tonight. Evan is the son of Danny Pickering, one of the stars of the Methley Royals amateur club, running out with the Tigers, wearing that head guard, and getting this mention, I'm reliably informed, will make the young man year. So it's a great crowd, and it would have been, I think, full to capacity tonight, but for the rain and the drizzle that has been falling in the Castleford area for the past couple of hours. Richard Silverwood knows he might have a job on his hands tonight, keeping these two apart, because as Barry McDermott told us on Boots and All last night, and in the build-up to this match, these Castleford Tigers like nothing better than to send these Leeds Rhinos home, courtesy of a good hiding. We're about to get underway. Richard Silverwood in pink, and Leeds will attack from right to left. Sinfield gets us underway. Low scudder on this surface, and we'll see plenty of that tonight, I think. Let's hope the handling is secure, Steve-O.
Yeah, they've laid the platform up there. Sinfield keeping that ball low, skidding off the ground. And remember, before the start of this game, Eddie, I mentioned which one of the coaches would take a gamble and try to get away from just this forward battle, which we expected because of the conditions. The mere fact is starting with Adam Milner and has dropped Daryl Clark to the bench indicates to me that Castleford will be quite happy to get the ball out wide to the likes of Dixon, Carney, Shenton and Gibson. We'll have to wait and see.
We will. This is Andy Lynch taking the fifth tackle for the Castleford Tigers. They're still inside their own half. The kick from Liam Finn. Remarkably, Liam Finn, 12 years a professional. This is the first time that Liam Finn has faced the Leeds Rhinos tonight.
Well, he might have to make about 10 or 12 of those kicks, as we've just seen there, to gain ground at the end of a set. And when you do that to Leeds, you really are in a dangerous area, because the winger and the two wingers and fullback are excellent and have been dangerous against all the teams they've played against. You really do have to pay special notice. When they kick the ball, the Tigers, they need to have defenders coping with the catcher.
This is Kylie Luluwai for the Rhinos. They're up to halfway. They'll be over halfway now with Peacock. He gets the ball away to Maguire. Maguire taking them on, but Ashley Gibson stuck to him, and with a bit of help from Andy Lynch, he's brought to the ground. That's Clarkson in at dummy half, giving Sinfield the opportunity to control things in the middle of the park again.
And not surprising, he did it to great effect last week. So therefore, all the same in the opening 20 minutes, that's a neat kick, it's high.
It is, it's coming down out of the grey skies, and Dixon does well to collect that ball very close to his own try line.
Eddie, just a word on Chris Clarkson. You've seen him already in the opening couple of minutes take his place at dummy half. It shows the versatility of the modern rugby league player. A second row loose forward by trade. He made his debut as a winger against Wigan. He's played in the centre for Leeds, but I coached him in the foundation at Leeds as a 16-year-old. He was a standoff, skinny standoff at that, but he's earning his trade, doing what his side needs, and that's playing that ball and trying to match what Adam Milner's doing for Castleford.
That's a tremendous kick. They're looking for a 40-20. Will it skid off the turf? No. Whoa! And I tell you what, Hardacre, with the boot slid across the soft ground.
It was very
close.
Yeah, was it ever? 3 or 4 inches to spare. But the kicking game, especially with wet conditions, it is so vital in the modern game. Hardacre had a tremendous game last week, didn't he? He was just outstanding. In fact, it didn't surprise me that Jamie Peacock made it quite clear that he thought that the way that Zach Hardacre was playing, that he may well take over from one Sam Tompkins in the England #1 shirt.
Well, that's how close he was to the whitewash on this near side of the field. That was Brett Delaney, meanwhile, handing it on to Sinfield, who in turn gets the ball away to Mitch Achurch. That's a good, solid run from him. Oliver Holmes, though, and Michael Shenton doing the defensive duties. Clarkson in there again at dummy half. Oh, it went in front of Sinfield, though. The pass, the kick then from Maguire. It's high again, the testing Dixon. 2 kicks in quick succession going Kirk Dixon's way.
Yeah, but he looks confident, doesn't he? Obviously, Brian McDermott, the Leeds coach, feels that there is a slight problem with Dixon with a high bomb. But when you take 2 clean like that, builds the confidence.
I'm not so sure it's a problem. I think it's the fact that would you want to kick the ball to Justin Carney and see him charging it back at you? I think the Leeds players probably had a vote this week and said, no, send it over to the left.
Well, they're trying to work the ball now down the other side of the field. The Castleford left, that is where Justin Carney waits. But they come back the other way on this occasion. Oh, and Finn did well to pick that ball up.
Back to
that
6.
was flicked there by Danny Maguire. Referee hasn't signalled it yet, and still doesn't.
Oh,
He's
got that wrong. There was a definite touch.
There was. Danny Maguire certainly got fingertips to that. The ball skidding along this very lush and beautiful surface at the Menderhouse jungle, and Ben Jones-Bishop picks it up for the Rhinos.
Beautiful position. This is a touch here from Maguire. You can see the deflection quite clearly. Not seen by the official. But the pace of this game, no surprise. They know how important it is to win tonight.
Ablett goes down under the tackle from Webster and Finn. That was Clarkson again. This is Luluwai, who'll carry the battle forward all night. He and Jamie Peacock, the 2 36 years young prop forwards. On halfway, he'll play the ball to Clarkson. Clarkson then to Delaney. Delaney takes it forward. He turns and backs another couple of metres into the Castleford half of the field. Clarkson once more. Here's Maguire. Maguire then gives it width and finds Sinfield. Again, high it goes. And Dixon underneath it once more. So that's 3 he's had to field, and 3 without problem so far, Kirk Dixon. Brian McDermott, the Leeds coach.
Yeah, Brian McDermott perhaps will be thinking to himself, OK, maybe to get a little bit more height. You could see that he was quite comfortable to take there, Kirk Dixon. Interesting to see, you know, we mentioned, haven't we, about the Chris Clarkson taking that role at the dummy half position. You know, if Leeds get anywhere near the Tigers line, they're expecting Clarkson just to feed the ball out. First man, try to get a link, but if he gets anywhere near the line, don't be surprised if he throws a dummy and goes on his own.
It's a lovely little slip pass in the tackle there. And here is Mark Sneed. He goes wide to Shenton. Shenton to Carney. Carney hits the ball downfield, and even on his all hands and knees, Zach Hardacre can still manage to pick that ball up cleanly.
And this is a reason why both these clubs are riding high in the Super League table, because they work for each other. They are thinkers. They know what they've got to get through, roll the sleeves up, put themselves in a position. You've got to read the game.
I think the best teams show some variety when it comes to the end of the set. Not always you just kick the ball predictably, but they ran it, they caused problems, they then put the kick at the end of that, and here's Andy Lynch with the chip and chase.
Holy moly, Phil, did he chip it a front row forward?
He did, Barry, because he knew it was the free play. It was signalled and shouted by referee Richard Silverwood. There's the loose carry from Briscoe.
Good pressure in defence, though. Castleford recognised that. Mark Sneed saw that it might just be an opportunity on their left. The kick was a good one from Carney, and from that point then it was all about intensity and building some pressure.
Yeah, but you've got to take your hat off the way that Zach Hardacre put himself into that position.
That's the mistake, and it was seen by the referee Richard Silverwood at that angle. This now is Michael Shenton. 9 tries in his last 9 games, playing some of the best rugby league of his career. This is Oliver Holmes, meanwhile, for the Tigers, 20 metres out. Takes it on to Lynch. Lynch then gives it to Liam Finn, who sees a gap. Was almost through it. Tansey in quickly at dummy half. It's here with Jake Webster now, trying to use his strength to go around A. Church and company. Can't do so. Tackle number 4, plays the ball quickly, and there's the first try for Dixon. Kirk Dixon, he ghosted down this right wing. There was nobody marking him, and the pass straight from dummy half into the winger's arms, and Castleford take an early lead. Kirk Dixon with the try, over 1,000 points for Castleford now.
This is where the lost possession, maybe a little bit of a swinging arm by Andy Lynch, dislodged it. But this is poor play by Tom Briscoe. It is not international quality. You can see that Briscoe is in no man's land. What on earth is he doing there? You don't put yourself in a sliding defence. It's man on man when you're so close, and he has paid the price.
And the extra effort that James Webster puts in, he doesn't go to ground, refuses to go to ground. So that means the Leeds defenders are still committed. And I think it was Danny Maguire who was late up. Therefore, Tom Briscoe was a bit too tight. And a great start to the game for the Tigers.
And a great start for Kirk Dixon. He's played half a dozen times now for the Tigers this year. He's scored tries in each and every one of them. You'll notice, like Craig Hubie, 1 or 2 of the Castleford players sporting beards tonight. Some maybe for the first time. It's all for a good cause. One of their friend's nephews, 17-month-old Freddie Jack, suffering from a rare medical condition. They're raising money to help him. They'll have a shave, they say, when that figure reaches £1,000. Check out the Just Giving website and the Freddie Jack page if you wish to support them. And Mark Sneed, this unique kicking style we always mention when we see him. And how effective is it from Mark Sneed? Season-long loan from Salford. And boy, he's making a name for himself here at the Tigers in 2014.
And not only is he making a name, Kirk Dixon certainly is. Remember, they put him under pressure with a high bomb on 3 occasions, took it quite cleanly on every single occasion, and he goes over for the first try. That is a real confidence boost for this home side. But Brian McDermott will not be impressed with the way that Tom Briscoe positioned himself on that short blind side.
Well, just going through the bottom of your screen, St Helens' amazing second-half comeback here last month got them the solitary victory against Castleford on this ground this season. They've won 7 of their last 8. And it was the last time we were here, actually, when the Saints were in town, that Castleford lost. I hope we're not unlucky omens for Darryl Powell and the Tigers. Downfield, bounces harmlessly into the arms of Hardaker. He'll try and run it back. He does so as far as Holmes and the hooker Adam Milner.
Great chase by the Tigers then. That was a pretty fast play, the ball there. Darryl Powell will be very happy. Why wouldn't he? 6-0 in the front.
Former Leeds great and player and former Leeds coach Darryl Powell now in the Super League after serving a fantastic apprenticeship with the Featherstone Rovers club. And here is Joel Moon, and Liam Finn saw to it that he wasn't going to make any further progress forward. And Maguire gives it then to Ablett, who tries to go inside Mariano, and between him and Scott Wheeldon he's brought down. Last tackle coming up here. Expect the kick from Sinfield again, looking to test Dixon out once more, bouncing in his own in-goal area. Dixon brings it out. Only as far as Moon, though.
Well, they're testing him out by Kirk Dixon, and he is standing up to all this pressure. Now then, can the Tigers get good field position? This is where Leeds have been so good this season, making sure that the opposition don't get anywhere into a good position for the final kick.
Jake Webster will play the ball to Milner. Just a quick word coming up about the Magic Weekend next weekend. This is the last tackle, meanwhile, for the Tigers. The kick into the corner from the boot of Milner, fielded by Hardaker. There it is, Magic Weekend next weekend. It will be magical too, believe me. There's the phone number, there's the website. They have released today some extra tickets for the stadium, have the Rugby Football League. And Jamie Peacock, number 10 for Leeds, will be our guest on the Sunday. for our coverage, and Paul Wellens will be our guest on the Saturday for our coverage. Both days we start at midday.
Well, you can see Hardacre's elbow just touches the whitewash, but was Shenton pulling?
It's terrific work, Steve. A tremendous intensity in defence for Castleford today. They kicked early on the previous set. Everybody knows that their job isn't finished. As soon as that kick goes in, and Zach Hardacre, who's playing probably as good as he's played throughout his career, made his name just down the road at Featherstone Rovers, was made to look very ordinary on that play.
And you've also got to take into account that Castleford, remember, their kicking game, they're keeping the ball low. Leeds, they're giving it plenty of height. Skids off then, and it pushed the full-back towards the whitewash.
It's Ashley Gibson for the Tigers, just looking ahead to the Magic Weekend. Castleford, Wakefield, and Leeds will play Wigan. This is Sneed, short ball. He brings number 18, Frankie Mariano, onto the ball and gets a penalty because Mitch Achurch was all around him and entangled with him. And, well, he was too slow, says the referee, getting off the ground in play. You can see there's a flurry of legs there.
Yeah, he's got to roll away. He made no attempt to do that, and that's a pity, really, when you think about the fact that he'd come down on a really good low tackle, stopped the momentum, and then just hung around.
Well, that's the trouble when you make a low tackle. If the player falls forward, you sometimes see the defender trying to get round at mark, and that's where players get entangled. And Darryl Powell, I'm sure, is delighted with this opening 13 minutes. He knows that they're really putting Leeds under the pump, keeping them down near their own try line. And Mark Sneed, who's an exceptional kicker, will just knock 2 points over again here, you feel.
But does that surprise anybody, that they're keeping them penned near their own line, Leeds? But here's a gift of 2 points. Should they have gone for 6?
No, take the 2. Just do it nice and steady, especially with this guy.
Well, they won here, didn't they, last year? It was a penalty goal in the last few minutes. They kicked to win. In fact, 14-12 on that occasion. They know it'll be tight if they are to win. So I think the 2 points will be a bit of relief with the way that Leeds have defended their own try line for most of this season. Of course, Wigan did get 2 easy tries crashing over from close range last week. But generally speaking, it's very hard to score against Leeds. I think any points are always welcome.
Well, that's 41 goals now, and a stern face belonging to Brian McDermott at the moment. 41 goals this season for Mark Sneed from 49 attempts. That's better than 83% success rate. That ball skidded off the turf. Webster did well to hang on to it. Webster should have started this match according to the official team sheet on the bench, but so too was number 14 Darryl Clark and number 10 Craig Hubie for Castleford, and they were replaced after the warm-up. And so Darryl Powell, he was out there, I noticed, with his team, Steve-O, before the kick-off, being involved in the warm-up. He saw something, and at the moment, at 8-0, it's paying dividends for him.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that it'll do is the fact that he kept Darryl Clark on the bench. Oh, what a great run.
And what a good tackle from Watkins on Carney. Quick play the ball. This is Milner. There's Hardacre onside. Doesn't matter because he got the ball away. Chip through, and this will hang in the in-goal area. Work for Tom Briscoe to do here. Great chase. Wonderful stuff from the Tigers. How about that?
Boy, you talk about team spirit, you talk about team effort. They are really fired up for this. There's not a lot of love between the two sides. And you can see there that Tom Briscoe has got no chance whatsoever.
That wasn't legal, was it, Stuart?
As soon as he's lifted off the ground, the referee should be called and held. That tackle is complete at that point. He's pushed back into the in-goal area. That should have been a penalty to Leeds.
Well, that's what the Leeds supporters were up in arms about. Have a look at it again. There he is. And up he comes off the deck, and they push him and lift him over the line. So, goal line dropout to the Rhinos. Should have been a penalty to the Rhinos. The Tigers won't be complaining. Here comes Mariano again.
And you've got to keep your eye on Justin Carney, because he really has a bad habit of going down for the legs and trying to lift them up every time he's involved in a tackle. Keep your eye out for that one.
Andy Lynch here on the ball, his 150th. There's Carney. Lynch will play the ball, his 150th appearance for Castleford in 2 spells. And Webster takes it forward again. Out of action for a year, from March 13th to March this year. Little flick pass over the shoulder, only finds Sinfield. Here comes Hardacre on the reply.
He got too excited, did Andy Lynch. The opportunity was there, but really they should have just camped down there. Great opportunity, just took the gamble. You don't have to do that. You're leading 8-0. You keep the kick game into the in-goal area, get the ball back again.
I think, mate, you have to take some risks sometimes and throw some passes. He was through there because the Leeds player had slipped in front of him. He accelerated for the gap, and I think you've got to back your player there. Some passes will stick, some won't, but I think it was a fair risk to take at that point.
It went forward, knock on, you name it. They've lost possession. They're allowing Leeds back into this game. You shouldn't do that.
And here comes Moon. He just put the brakes on, and Ashley Gibson slid past him but came back and recovered well. This is Maguire. And Maguire gives it to Clarkson, who'll drive it in on tackle number 4.
Well, Clarkson thought it was a dummy runner. He had to go back before he could pass the ball. Switch there from Sinfield. Kick into the in-goal area.
By Maguire. Oh,
it's got to be a card.
Now then, the referee will have a look at this, because I think Maguire has got the ball down. But it's all a question of whether this is okay as far as a double movement's concerned, Stuart.
Well, that's it. It's a free play as well, so you know Leeds are going to get 6 tackles if the try isn't awarded. So I suppose in one respect, Danny Maguire's sort of taking a bit of a punt as to whether he can get across the line. So it's all about whether it's a double movement as far as Richard Silverwood's concerned. Is the tackle complete, and does he continue after the tackle's complete? I don't think there's any problem here. That's a clear knock-on in the in-goal area, so a restart would be a goal line dropout. So does Maguire actually ground this ball correctly? Is the tackle complete? If his ball carrying arm touches the ground, which it does there, and is held by a man, that should be deemed as tackle complete.
So what would the decision be, Stuart? Penalty to Castleford, or would they go back and give the goal line dropout for the knock-on?
The only time you can get a penalty in a free play if it's foul play by the ball carrying team. So the knock-on was in the in-goal area, so I'm thinking the restart should be a goal line dropout.
Stuart, can I ask you, I think it's Jordan Tanzi, the fullback from Castleford. Once Danny Maguire has grounded that ball, he's in the action of flipping him over.
Well, that's the decision the referee's got to take. I would take the view that Danny Maguire's actually grounded the ball first.
He's not grounded it anyway yet.
Yeah, it's down there now. Don't worry about that. Well, it's a big decision for the boys.
It is. Ben Thaler and Steve Ganson.
Knock on in the in-goal area. No try. Goal line dropout.
You got great evidence there, didn't you, how quickly Leeds could go from one end of the field when it was almost a Tigers try to the other and put points on the board. Dixon's been peppered, hasn't he? Is that the 5th kick that he's put his way now in the first 17 minutes? That's the error there, because he was under pressure. And it's a let-off momentarily here now for Castleford.
It is, Phil, and that's the reason why Darryl Powell wouldn't have been happy with the fact that Andy Lynch, right at the other end of the field, tried to offload it.
You have to be careful, mate. If you tell your players don't take any risks, don't throw any passes, then they won't score any tries. You do have to get the balance right, don't you, between taking some chances.
You ask the coach and I'll tell you that he won't be too impressed. But they've got away with it.
Oh, Maguire got away with that. Here is Ryan Bailey, who's on the field off the bench. His 300th appearance for Leeds. Was a substitute against Wigan last week as well. Coming into the action pretty early in the piece. Peacock will take it forward again for Leeds, and that's tackle number 2. There's Clarkson once more. Gives it to Sinfield. He gives it to Delaney.
Well, that's been the problem with Leeds in this game. They've not had the advantage getting over it with the big forwards. Haven't had much possession.
Maguire again. Gets the short pass away to Ablett, and he keeps the legs pumping. He did this all last week against Wigan as well. Carl Ablett. Referee now says that he is held, and look how close he is to that Castleford line. Off the deck and straight into the arms of Peacock. He then finds Maguire. Maguire then to Sinfield. Sinfield gives a good pass to Hardacre. This is Watkins. Watkins gets it to Ben Jones Fisher. Another decision, is it, for the video referees coming up?
He'll give this.
No, he won't. It's going upstairs. Leeds runner in back play. They've got to have a look at, Stuart, and the grounding in the corner.
Well, I think there's a collision on the play on the way through. Looking at it live, I wasn't too concerned about it. The ball certainly goes well away from where the collision takes place. Nothing wrong with so far. Still looking for a runner coming through. It's this one. It's caught outside. Well, I think the Castleford player's gone to the defender, gone to the runner there. So I don't think there's an issue with that. The ball's caught on the outside of the runner. It looks like Ben's playing on.
Yeah, Ben Thaler, I think, agrees with you. And then this is the crucial moment now coming up.
Down to the grounding.
I know the video referee can't set it, but is the final pass, do you think, a forward one, Stuart?
Well, it's fairly flat, and you know, he's tackled as he's running forward, so there is a bit of momentum when he does pass the ball. I think the pass is okay, and as you say, the video referee can't look at the pass to adjudicate whether it's forward or not.
This is the moment then here now.
It all comes down to the grounding, and that looks fine.
Yes, Carney did his best, but Ben Jones-Bishop was too quick for him. He's marked his return to the side with his 6th try, I think.
Try, no obstruction, clear grounding in the goal area.
So Ben Jones-Bishop, he's played only 5 previously, 4 starts, 5 tries before tonight, 6 tries now. He's got a great try return, hasn't he?
The very first opportunity really to get the 3/4 in full motion, and Carney just a little bit slow. He made the decision a split second too late. Do I come in? Do I stay out? See how he just hesitates? It's enough for Ben Jones-Bishop to come in. Leeds back in the game.
Yeah, Ben Jones-Bishop, a Super League debut at full-back against Castleford at home in June 2008. And they won 18-12 on that occasion, did Leeds. That try has put them on the board here. It's 8-4 rather to Castleford at the moment. And this to pull them to within 2 points. A kick from Kevin Sinfield in the rain on the far side. Hail, rain or snow, it doesn't seem to matter to Kevin Sinfield. Tigers 8, Leeds Rhinos 6.
Well, I agree with Phil. I don't think it was the mistake. I think it was the response from the Castleford players. And you combine that with the skills on shore, the speed, the accuracy of those passes. Ben Jones-Bishop gets his 6th try. And it's a testing time for Ben Jones-Bishop. He's having to fight and jostle, try and pick up some scraps. And he's telling his coach, I want to play, and I want to play every week.
And I know that Brian McDermott and the Leeds Club, Barry, have had to field a few phone calls from many Super League clubs who fancy taking Ben Jones-Bishop on loan, give him some game time. So far, Brian has resisted the temptation.
Well, it's a credit to Brian McDermott's man management, and it's a credit to Ben Jones-Bishop. He's willing to fight, he's willing to stay and be part of a team and a rotation system that sees him sometimes miss out, and that's a quality character in a good player.
And you know what? Leeds have had less ball than their opponents, but they've made more ground. And Eddie talked on it. The legs of the Rhinos pumping forward to make ground after the collision. You'd expect Castleford to be just in front at the moment with the domination, but Leeds are looking good in the ball.
So the key performance indicators getting it absolutely spot on. And I think that we've seen that Darryl Powell has made a 4-man change off the bench here.
And the most important one is brought Hubie and Daryl Clark out. And we'll see more running from the dummy half position as we've seen throughout this game. Interesting to see whether Brian McDermott will carry on with the fact of utilising Chris Clarkson there. Maybe Stevie Ward might be on his way.
Stevie Ward's a good player and can certainly throw a pass. I've just been watching Kirk Dixon over the last couple of minutes. We've got some good wingers on our staff here at Sky Sports, and maybe we'll get their view of, if you're constantly given that job, high balls, high kicks are being put up at you, you take that as an insult, you take it, and maybe does it dent your confidence, or does it make you steely and determined to prove those players wrong? Maybe we'll get Wellesley and Brian Carney to give us their comments.
Zach Hardaker retreating to his own line to claim that high kick downfield. Super League Superstars features Jamie Peacock tonight, immediately after we're finished here, 10:15, right here on Sky Sports 3. Don't miss that. The Jamie Peacock story, one of the genuine superstars of this sport. Here's the Leeds try scorer, Ben Jones-Bishop.
And talking about Jones-Bishop, you've got to give it a lot of credit as well. The wonderful offload by Callum Watkins. Certainly out of the top draw.
Important tackle that was. Very important by Michael Shenton. Sinfield with the kick. It was measured, that, and it will skip dead on this greasy surface.
Yeah, just a bit too heavy there from the skipper, but at least he dissected the fullback and the winger. They'll try to get their heavy defence sorted out on that 20 line.
The mascot giving the referee no option other than to award the 20-metre restart. And Carney has lost the ball. Carney has lost it in the challenge. It's a free play and Leeds take it.
And it's incidents like this that just turn the game.
I think Sinfield had a little bit of a tug on that football.
Well, it certainly appeared that way, didn't it?
Maybe not. No, maybe not.
Not so sure. You've been a bit harsh on the skipper, I think.
This is Maguire. Gives it to Hardaker. Here is Moon. Joel Moon is halted. Good tackling. Haraki was in there as well, helping out. This is Maguire. Haraki again, working hard with Lynch. Down he goes. That's tackle number 3, but they're 11 metres away, the Rhinos. Danger for the Tigers here. It's Peacock. He offloads that. It flicks off, fingertips everywhere, still flicking, and that's a knock-on. Well, this should be a free play. Now it'll be brought back for a knock-on, first by Leeds.
Well, we saw Leeds going into panic mode there.
You know, about 2 minutes ago, I was about to say, haven't the players been really economical with this football, and in these conditions we haven't seen too many mistakes. I'm glad I didn't, but I thought I might have vexed them.
It looked like they were having a game of volleyball at one point there, didn't they? But yeah, the game tends to open up after the first quarter, and they have been good with their skills and conservative when they needed to be, and we may well see this game open up in the last quarter of the first half.
Well, I'm not so sure it was a good idea for Jamie Peacock to offload in slippy conditions, but the Tigers, they're regrouping.
Looks to me like Leeds have tried to pass the ball at both wide and right left. They want to get the ball to Joel Moon and Callum Watkins early so they can take on the men one-on-one, and they do look dangerous when they're given it.
Hubie gets the Tigers over the halfway line. We'll play it there to Darrell Clark. Now Grant Millington.
It's such an important facet as well in the game. Get over the opposition line. Get the kick.
Play from Darrell Clark. Oh, and the conditions robbed him then.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think he just had Zach Hardaker off balance, but he corrected himself. Here's a kick through. It's going to be important.
It's a great kick by Sneed, and it's well watched by Ben Jones-Bishop, because Castleford will get another set of 6.
And that's all they need. Okay, they're only leading by 2 points on this occasion, but a neat little kick through. And well done. Ben Jones-Bishop had to be that way as well, but they know it's going to be a dropout.
Well, that's a sensational kick from Mark Sneed. I don't know whether Darryl Powell thought something else was on, but that's the beauty of having a right-footed kicker in Liam Finn and a left-footed kicker in Mark Sneed. There's a theory in rugby league that left-footed kickers have got more skill and more ability because throughout the growth spurt, as they're growing up, they're made to do things right-handed, right-footed, so they learn a little bit of right foot, left foot, and they pick up both sets.
Hubie gets to the tackle and turns and gives it to Tanzi. And Tanzi, formerly Leeds, of course, clawed to the ground by Delaney.
Good job that Delaney got there as well, because he was just setting up to get the ball out wide, and that's what they've done here.
Finn found Gibson. Gibson then back to Darrell Clark. Clark then gives it to Millington. He loses the ball. Free play. Free play for Leeds. Tackle is complete.
Just lost control of it, which is not surprising. It is very, very slippy out there.
You've got to take chances, though. You'd have to agree they can take them at that point, can't they? They're close to Leeds' try line, and with the 4 defenders driving Jamie Peacock back, they'll complement what they're doing with their attack here with an effort in defence.
Dixon and Gibson were calling for reinforcements to come down this right-hand side defensively for Castleford. They could see what was coming. Now it's Delaney. Delaney is given the verdict to play on by Richard Silverwood, so Millington has to finish him off with Holmes. Sinfield, back it goes to Maguire. Maguire right-footed down centre field. And this will stand in the in-goal area, will it? Yes, it will. Will it? No. Tanzi put the foot over the line.
Just in time as well before it stopped rolling.
Leeds players were in an offside position. He has to wait until they all get back on side. And
Yes.
this ball stops.
It was very close to it.
Stuart, you're puffing your cheeks out.
It was very close. It was very, very close. There was still movement in it, just.
That wasn't slow motion, to be fair.
It was slow too.
27 minutes gone, 8-6 to Castleford Tigers. All we thought this game might be. Good contest in awful conditions so far. I'm just having a look. It looks as though the rain is easing off a bit, and let's hope it's dry tomorrow at Warrington. For Warrington Wolves against the Catalan Dragons, Sky Sports 2, 7:30 on Friday.
And
Never rains in Warrington, don't worry.
Well, that'll be a great battle too. Oh, through the dummy. Good job that they had the defence there. That was good work there by Bailey. You know, Darryl Powell will be quite happy the way that Castleford are gaining ground against the opposition. They're getting the kicks away, they're applying that pressure, and it's a good kick as well.
Flicked back by Dixon, collected and given to Liam Finn!
Stopped him.
I think Hardaker has done the job again. I think Hardaker has done the job again. He has. No try.
Well, he didn't get a touch to it, Kirk Dixon, so therefore it was the offload there by Millington. But
How good is Hardaker?
Yeah, and also give it a lot of credit to the way that Jones Bishop, remember, he's out there on that right wing. He put himself in this on the left position.
You just stand back, let him play the
Boy,
ball.
what a try saver that was.
You just stand back, let him play the ball.
There was an interview in the week where Jimmy Peacock said, you know, Leeds do miss tackles, we sometimes think because they've not conceded points, but Hardaker saves them most of the time, and when he doesn't, some of the other quick backs have used their speed to, you know, save the embarrassment to one or two of the players. More than any other side in Super League, I think they've got a collective effort to help a mate out. If they come up with an error or miss a tackle, somehow one of them is prepared to help. And look at the stats here. You'd expect really at this point in the game Castleford to be narrowly ahead, but they really have been toe-to-toe, these two sides. Very little between them in the stats. But the Leeds Rhinos unable to make many breaks due to some great commitment from Castleford.
Well, Liam Finn was spoken to quite harshly by the referee not too long ago. He said, get away from the man who's playing the ball and let him play the ball. And clearly Richard Silverwood believes that Liam Finn did not do that on that occasion.
Well, he'd warned them. Silverwood said, next one that does it, you're going to be penalised. And boy, they really are. Be disappointed with that. You know, Darryl Powell will be furious. They have really got themselves in good positions throughout this first half.
Here's Peacock now for the Rhinos, taking on Lynch, getting away from Lynch. Holmes was there, though, to bring him down. They're trying to get on with it quickly, Leeds. And here is Maguire. Looking behind him, it's Hardaker. Hardaker then on a crossfield move with Moon. And Moon is brought down by Craig Hubie. Sinfield again. This is Sutcliffe. And young Liam slips. Sinfield scampers into dummy half once more. Maguire then to Hardaker. Wide they go again. This is Callum Watkins. And Watkins will score. All the strength in the world from Callum Watkins. But hang on. Richard Silverwood hasn't given it yet. And I think there's an obstruction call or a decision to be made about obstruction in back play, Stu.
Mitch Achurch on Michael Shenton, a replay of the previous try. He's seen a collision in the back play and he wants to check it again. But again, Danny Maguire's pass looks to be okay. It goes the other side of the runner. And it's Achurch and Shenton come together again. It's almost like Shenton always uses it to bounce off. Certainly doesn't affect the way he gets across in defence.
Rather checking the grounding, it looks like this is going to be A-OK.
Great effort. Great effort. Callum Watkins created the first try. Is this TRY? It is.
So 2 question marks about obstruction in the 2 tries that Leeds have scored. Are we taking this obstruction business in back play a little too far, Stuart, do you think?
Well, I think sometimes the referee, you see a collision, and Michael Shenton on both occasions has complained to the referee, and I think that's put him in 2 minds, and so he's gone back to check. You know, clearly there he's just bounced off and gone across.
And I think the players realise that if they sort of make contact, they just hope that the referee will raise the arms, go to the video referee, but what about the upper body strength there from Callum Watkins?
And what about the try, which is try number 70 for Callum Watkins in 120 career games? Well, he is an immense talent, is Callum Watkins. There's no doubt about that. And so is this fellow. He's got another chance here to pop one over from the touchline, just as he had a few moments ago when the first try was scored by Ben Jones-Bishop in almost exactly the same position. Kevin Sinfield, by the way, this is his 450th start for Leeds. Super League's records for most appearances, points and goals. And over 100 goals for Leeds against Castleford down the years. A study of concentration. Well, he's one of the best kickers in the business. Leeds ahead 12-8.
Well, Eddie, I look to study games. When I'm watching them, I'm always putting myself in the mind of the players and the coach. And I think Darryl Powell, yeah, he'll be disappointed that they've conceded a try, but it come from a good kick. They had Leeds penned on their own line. They gave a penalty away. They backed that up, and it's the old formula of penalty, try. And Callum Watkins makes Castleford Tigers pay in the severest fashion.
Here comes Peacock then on the charge in this first set of 6 after the kick-off. 31.5 minutes. Castleford 8-0 up at one stage. Leeds have hit them with 12 points without reply at the other end.
Fully anticipated such a close encounter. Remember, Castleford could have been given a try. It was only great work by Hardacre and Ben Jones-Bishop that prevented Liam Finn from getting the ball down. That's a great kick from Sinfield. It's a belter. It's wonderful. Or is it?
It's brilliantly knocked back into the field of play by Justin Carney.
Well, brilliant by both counts, and he's got it spot on.
Do you call that a try saver?
My word.
I know there had to be a scrum, but the play and the ruthless brilliance of both of the centres and wingers for Leeds. You'd have imagined with 6 players there on the line that have got 6 more points. Great effort from Castleford here. I love the games that go end to end and how they've got the speed here up, the tempo, high tempo in the last 10.
Yes, it's a vital period of the match here for Castleford. They don't want to concede another try. Otherwise, there might be 1 or 2 doubts in the mind.
Well, Darryl Powell sent out Darryl Clark to create confusion at the play the ball area. He's already made 2 very, very good runs from that position. Great take there by Tom Briscoe.
Yes, good take by Briscoe. Good work by Gibson. He allowed him to land before he effected the tackle.
And that's good work from Zach Hardacre. He's dropped it. Knock on.
Well, commentator's curse again.
Yeah, I put the mocker on him. He took the ball up as though he was a forward and then lost control.
But Steve-O, that's the tactic that was good for Castleford. Put the kick down, put Zach Hardacre, Tom Briscoe, Ben Jones-Bishop, good returners of the rugby league ball, put them under pressure. Let's get some intensity in defence.
Okay, boys. Out.
The Leeds Rhinos are up to 8 points conceded. That's around about their average for matches in Super League this season. 8.5 on average. Hardacre on the free play. Hardacre is chasing this. Carney's after it. Carney gets to it brilliantly one-handed, but all that comes to naught, and they will bring it back where the first offence took place, the knock-on by Andy Lynch, I think it was.
Well, I suppose in many ways this has brought a little bit of excitement into the free play. You could see there that Andy Lynch quite openly took his eyes off the ball, could see the players coming towards him. Hardacre thinking very quickly. Good play by Carney. Made sure he got it.
How about the one-handed take? Brilliant stuff from Carney. Lynch will be annoyed with himself. And Hardacre, well, it was an opportunity to make the free play pay.
He's a good player, Justin Carney. We've seen in the last couple of minutes. I agree with you, Phil. I think it was a try saver, that 40-20 field position for the Rhinos, and he just did enough to bat it back in, and he showed his appetite to cover things up again by catching that ball.
The legs came up then. Oliver Holmes was Quite vigorous round the ankles. Here is Bailey.
Big impact there as well. Bailey on Craig Hubie.
Peacock gets the Rhinos over halfway. They've arrived here on the back of a 6 straight game winning run.
Come on, Andy.
This is Maguire, gets it away to Stevie Ward, and he's met by the tackle from Wella Hiraki.
Yeah, that's a real blaster, wasn't it?
Sutcliffe gets it away to Hardacre. Watkins goes inside Mark Sneed. Sneed and Shenton eventually combine to bring him down.
Will it be a high one?
Yes,
Yes,
it will.
it is.
Another test here for Dixon. He's after this.
Oh, they're gonna run it bounce.
It's come to Stevie Ward. And Tom Briscoe is caught in possession. There was a moment in the build-up to that incident there where Ryan Bailey might actually have been penalised for shepherding a man off the ball, off as this kick came down.
Well, hesitation.
Just watch here now. He'll say he was going for the ball, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they were lucky to get away with that. You can't take that risk.
Well, it seemed to go, obviously, it went between Dixon and Jordan Tansey, and neither of them could make the mind up.
Well, neither of them were called. It's as simple as that. I must say that Leeds defence have done a good job on this fella, Michael Shenton. He's in superb form, but there's given him no room to move tonight.
When we came here about a month ago, Eddie, and Castleford played against St Helens, they were the great at the start of both halves, but tapered off as the 40 minutes went on. They need to have learned from that. They must push on here now and try, if possible, to take the lead before they go to half-time. What have they got left in the last 3 minutes?
Well, first of all, they'll chase this Mark Sneed kick, which is a bit deep and easy for Hardacre. But Michael Shenton pulls him down, and Sinfield's waiting at dummy half, and he gives it then to Ben Jones-Bishop.
Again, he's having a fine game, isn't he, Hardacre? He's so confident at the moment. Now, see, it's important now the Tigers don't give away a silly penalty.
Sinfield, here comes Bailey again.
Get away from the play the ball area, don't mess around.
He broke a thumb against Castleford at home last June, did Ryan Bailey, so he'll be hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice tonight.
And they've done a good job with the Castleford defence. They've kept Leeds. They're pretty deep to get the kick away.
Maguire has to try and jink around Holmes. Oh, they're in trouble here. They're in trouble here.
That's brilliant. There's very little between these two sides. You've seen that with your own eyes. The best teams in this game can accelerate when everyone else is tiring. Now, they've done that here with a tremendous effort to almost sack Sutcliffe, as they say in American football, trapped him in possession. Leeds have conceded a penalty, and this is the perfect way to be in the last 2 minutes, with the ball inside your opponent's 20.
Well, if they've got a set move, this is the point to do it. Kick into the touch.
Well,
they're going into the corner.
Before the game, John Wells showed us some of the tap sets, the 6 players. They have a lot of variety here. They make the defenders move around, and they find a way through the line.
Yeah, they like the run around, which is it's on again.
This would be a crucial time for Castleford to score. Hubie hangs on to it on the first tackle. They're 12 metres away from the Leeds line. Liam Finn, that's well picked up and great feet. And Sneed is over for the Tigers. Mark Sneed, and this isn't referred upstairs. He gets the try, he gets the nod of the referee, Richard Silverwood. He hasn't missed a match yet in this season-long loan he's on from Salford. And that is a tremendous fillip to the Castleford Tigers just before half-time. It was a wonderful step as well.
Tremendous switch back there to his half-back partner. Liam Finn got him coming through, and that is sheer quality from Mark Sneed. We know his quality in the goal-kicking department, but this is outstanding. Ablett went far too high. Tremendous stuff.
And I think you're right, Steve. It is a set play, but it's a player with good instincts backing himself. Left foot steps, gets him on the wrong side of defenders. You're right, Phil. Castleford going to the dressing rooms now in a much more positive frame of mind. Still in this game, it's still on.
It's very much on, and if Mark Sneed kicks this, and from bang in front, you would think it's an academic question, but on a night like this, with the tension and the conditions, who knows, but you'd think Mark Sneed would kick it. At 14-12, We've turned round with a half-time score exactly the same as it was in the first game last season here that they played, and Castleford won.
You want to bet, Eddie? I reckon he'll get it.
You only back favourites then, don't you?
From time to time.
He does get it. 14-12 it is. And I think that's half-time, isn't it? Just about. Maybe 45 seconds or so remaining.
Well, isn't it amazing? You know, Darryl Powell created a lot of raised eyebrows with Mark Sneyd and Liam Finn, the combination, but that combination certainly paid off. But this was sheer quality.
3 men he beat with that step. 3 men. Great try from Mark Sneyd. Vela Haraki, his job is to just hang on here, and Castleford's job is to hang on to the ball for 20 more seconds. QB.
No panic, just keep it in the forwards, go to the break. 2-point lead.
Tansey waits. Gets the ball away to Andy Lynch. And if he gets up to his feet in the next 2 seconds, he'll play it, which he does, and then the siren will sound. Oh, hello! Here comes Darryl Clark! And he wants a kick to the corner. There's Carney. Carney got the kick. Ben Jones-Bishop, they'll get the ball. He's lost it backwards. Ben Jones-Bishop to the rescue in the end. Tremendous end to the first half. A great end to a great first 40 minutes. End-to-end stuff.
Brilliant play by the hooker, Darryl Clark. He caught Leeds napping. They thought they were going into the sheds. He nearly brought them a try for the Tigers.
Well, we tipped a thriller on this Thursday night, and we're getting it. Dixon's try after 8 minutes. Sneed's goal, 6-0, 8-0. Just 6 minutes later. Jones-Bishop and Watkins with a couple of tries for Leeds. And then Sneyd trying to go right on the stroke of half-time. It's 14-12 to the Tigers.
The Gladiators are entering the arena. Hamilton on pole. Lewis Hamilton, who once again wins. Wow!
Brilliant wheel-to-wheel action.
Awesome race. It's all happening in this Grand Prix. The winning feeling for Hamilton.
The Spanish Grand Prix weekend in association with Rolex and Shell, live on Sky Sports F1.
There's nothing nicer than waking from a great night's sleep. From the warm burrow of a luxury king-size Hypnos bed, every inch of you floating on over 1,000 pocket springs, snuggled under a toasty duvet. And crisp white sheets. Your head buried deep in a soft, plump pillow. Or choose a firmer one, if you prefer. What could be nicer than that? You can always rely on a Premier Inn for a great night's sleep, wherever you are.
To become a dementia friend and find little ways you can help people like me, please go to dementiafriends.org.uk now. Thank you.
Inspiration comes from everywhere. It's what you do with it that counts. The new iX35 from Hyundai. Inspiration engineered.
Can you feel that? That's Double Delight Hat-Trick Heaven. Bet on the first goal scorer, and if he scores first, you win. If he gets another, we'll double your odds. And if he gets a hat-trick, we'll treble them. If you love football, you'll love a bit of Betfred. Sign up now for no deposit, £10 free bet. Exclusively on your mobile.
The Gladiators are entering the arena.
Half-time, Castleford against Leeds, and the Tigers are ahead by 14 points to 12 against the Leeds Rhinos. Now look, Castleford were bottom of the Super League table in April last year. Then that man there at the bottom of your screen, Darryl Powell, moved in May, 12 months ago. He won 6 of his 13 in charge. Back end of last year, they climbed to 12th place in the table, 9 points off the bottom club, Salford. How remarkable has the transition been in the fortunes of this famous old club? Interesting that Brian McDermott, his opposite number in the Leeds camp, sat there for 2 full minutes after the players departed the scene before he headed down the tunnel, and there he is now laying down the law to his players because they have lost a lead in that first half and trail at the half-time siren. 14 points to 12, the Tigers are ahead, but it has been a rip-roaring match in the most testing of conditions. Let's see what John Wells and Brian Carney have made of it all.
Yes, thanks very much, Eddie. Great first half. I'm going to start by answering the question Barry McDermott posed during that first half. What will Kirk Dixon be thinking when he's getting so much aerial traffic coming his way? Well, somebody once told me, want them to kick to you because you're one missed tackle, if you catch the ball, one missed tackle from the opposition from going 100 metres. That's the theory. In practice, when it keeps coming your direction, you can start rolling your eyes to heaven. He's had a very busy first half, Kirk Dixon, but he did get on the scoreboard, John. 7.5 minutes gone. First points, first blood to the Castleford Tigers.
Kirk Dixon's, he gets credit here for holding his line on the touch line. What I am going to give credit to, massive credit to, is Adam Milner. We didn't have time to show you both clips, both angles. What I would say is have a look here at both Briscoe and Danny Maguire, who goes in late as a third man, and because of that, Mitch Achurch who has to come out short side here. Now, Adam Milner has already had 2 quick looks. That's one of them there at the touchline. Now look at Briscoe. He has not seen his wingman. That's Briscoe's issue. He's not picked up his wingman. The first time he sees his wingman is at this point here when the ball's gone past him. That's poor wingman play for me, but he's not been helped out by his inside man.
Now, the right-hand side attack of the Leeds Rhinos are having a field there with Callum Watkins and Ben Jones-Bishop. Watkins himself stepped inside Mark Sneyd, scored a great try, but before that, he put Ben Jones-Bishop in for a try. They're targeting Mark Sneyd, who we'll speak about shortly, and they're getting some results.
Yeah, that left edge, and that left edge in defence, which has been so good for Castleford this year. What I am going to do here, right at the outset, I know I've been guilty of being very critical of the obstruction rule. The obstruction rule that is set up, which is confusing interpretations. I'm going to give Ben Thaler here, and I saw him we vocalise this point as we go through. I'm going to make it again here, and it's at the point when Shenton steps in on Achurch. Here's Shenton just here, and at that point there, I think there's a bit of kidology going on there, and I think personally that Shenton has chosen to step into Mitch Achurch on that line. I think it's the correct decision to say that is a try. That is Michael Shenton's decision to go into the lead runner rather than lead runner taking him out. By the way, great feat by Watkins in putting Ben Jones-Bishop in the corner.
Now, between Mark Sneyd and Justin Carney, the Castleford Tigers defence unable to stop Leeds on that occasion. We're going to have a quick look at some Leeds Rhinos defence. We spoke about their try-saving tackles. You got another example for us, John?
It's a key moment in this half. It was going to be the key moment until the late try from Castleford. There are very few people who can do this. Very few people who realise the area in the field in which they're supposed to be. Now, this for all money should have been a try. And I think that is superb. He is no longer concerned, and we say this time and time again, about pushing the Castleford player away from the try line. His only objective is to stop him grounding the ball. And Zach Hardacre, once again, that signalled a 12-point turnaround because Callum Watkins, don't forget, touchdown in the corner some 90 seconds later.
Yeah, some brilliant Leeds Rhinos defence. Now, we said Mark Sneyd is under a little pressure defending on that left-hand side for the Castleford Tigers, but he's been brilliant in attack. In fact, he is a brilliant attacking player. The Salford Red Devils will be desperate to get him back. They are still his parent club. He's on loan, and this is a brilliant try, John. Some great footwork.
Yeah, very well worked. Here's the try scorer. There's Sneyd, looking like he's not involved. Pass coming back on the inside. That's absolutely superb from Liam Finn. And the guy I want you to watch here, very difficult, but keep your eyes on him. It's Callum Watkins. As soon as this ball goes this way, he just breaks his stride for just a split second. That's enough with a clever pass around the back of the ruck for Sneyd with some great footwork in some poor conditions to score the try.
And still has Zach Hardacre and Carl Ablett to beat. It is a brilliant try, wonderful footwork, I should say, from Mark Sneyd, and perhaps a little bit of revenge when Callum Watkins coming up with that missed tackle. OK, well, that's about all for us at half-time. Back to you now, Eddie.
Well, these Castleford Tigers supporters and Leeds Rhino supporters here will be delighted with the first 40 minutes that they have seen, I am sure. Leeds know that visits here are rarely easy. Yet last year's 12-14 second-round defeat ended a run of 4 straight wins for Leeds at Castleford. Will it be 2 in a row for the Tigers here tonight? We'll see.
Has he got downward pressure?
I think so.
I've had to draw a conclusion based on what I glimpsed through the stitching of the person suit that you wear. And the conclusion that I've drawn is that you are dangerous.
Hannibal, Tuesday at 10 on Sky Living HD. June the 9th.
The Harvest Sale is designed to do more than just save you money. It can help you achieve inner peace, end wars, and provide the world's best social media platform. It can be a means of keeping you abreast of world affairs. It can cure man flu, and even help you get that job as Global Senior Vice President. The Harvest Sale with extra bank holiday savings ends Monday. Might just change your life, but it'll definitely save you money.
What's the point of a beautiful exterior if there's nothing beautiful on the inside? The Peugeot 208 Style, with panoramic glass roof, sat-nav and PureTech engine. New 208 Style, at your dealer for a limited time only.
Has Has he got downward pressure?
I think so.
Welcome aboard this Manchester tram service, calling all stations to Magic Weekend, where passengers should alight to witness all 14 Super League clubs fight for victory as they aim to make Old Trafford their final destination. Excitement, passion and skill should be expected from Super League's finest. We'll surely be arriving at Eastlands, where this service will terminate. All change, please. All change.
The Magic Weekend next weekend, live on Sky Sports. Midday Sky Sports 3 on the Saturday, midday Sky Sports 1 on the Sunday. Special guests Paul Wellens on Saturday, Jamie Peacock on the Sunday. All 14 teams, 7 matches, 2 days, 1 venue. The Etihad Stadium, the home of Manchester City. Well, here we are at the Menderhose Jungle, the home of the Castleford Tigers, who are leading by 14 points to 12. And it's going to be Kirk Dixon who gets this second half underway again. But we have to just tell you that there might be a touch of controversy already in this match, because according to the match day operations manual, I'm quoting here, only the 17 players named on the team sheet may start the match, and the players numbered from 1 to 13 on the sheet must start the match on the pitch, or the club will be considered to have made an interchange. Well, as we know, after the team sheet was handed in tonight by Castleford, they made 2 changes after the warm-up. We have Stuart Cummings with us, of course, former match officials director, the boss of the Rugby Football League referees once upon a time. Stuart, does that mean that Castleford should be down by 2 interchanges for this match?
Well, that's my understanding of it, and it refers to the players numbered 1 to 13, means the 13 foremost on the team sheet. So, you know, I would have thought that 2 interchanges would have counted against Castleford Tigers already, but we understand that it's gone to the match commissioner, and he's agreed the changes.
Okay, so maybe no controversy, but when we saw the team sheet, maybe it was as it was, and maybe later on they made some changes and showed it to the match commissioner. We don't know, but still, that's what comes with having former match officials on our team, you see. We look out for things like that these days.
Well, let's get on with the game, because it's going to be a cracker. It certainly was in the first stanza. 2 points separate them. And they have produced some really, really good stuff in, wet conditions for perhaps the first 30 minutes. It looks a lot clearer now.
I think this is a penalty against Castleford, because they are deemed to have had Jordan Tansey involved in this run. And, well, did he go behind? Did he get involved? Is that a fair call, Stuart, for obstruction? Here's another question for you.
Well, again, you know, obstruction, if someone's obstructed, the team has to give him an advantage. You could say there that he was tackled straight away, so he could have got away with that one.
Well, he certainly collided with Maguire, so either way, Leeds will not be complaining. Boy, there's some big hits out there. Huber didn't get him on the first one.
Stevie Ward certainly rode them, didn't he? And here come Leeds now with Maguire and Hardacre. Hardacre taking on Shenton, but Shenton does well, standing up and eventually bringing him down. Watkins waits for the Rhinos, midway inside the Tigers' half. Sutcliffe lays the ball off to Ryan Bailey, and Bailey will plough a furrow down the middle of the field.
Well, we saw the face on the coach, Brian McDermott, the coach of Leeds. He was not too happy with their performance. They want to up the tempo.
Peacock goes down on tackle number 8. Tackle number 4, I beg your pardon. And the kick to the in-goal area. And Dixon can't get out of jail.
Smart move. That's all you need to do. Slowly but surely take control of the game, and you can do that with the short kick. Dixon did exceptionally well, but there was far too many Leeds players pushed him back in the in-goal area. It's all about tactics now.
Ryan Hall, one of the players missing tonight. Danny Maguire, Rob Burrow, Paul Ayton, also vital cogs in this Leeds Rhinos outfit. Jamie Jones Buchanan, almost the forgotten man of the Rhinos as well, isn't he? Back comes Bailey for the Rhinos. Peacock will take it forward.
Leeds are going back to basics. Nothing fancy, just get in a good position. Will they do the link now?
Sinfield looks to his left-hand side and finds the runner. That's Brad Singleton. Singleton to his feet, plays it to Sinfield. Sinfield then to Maguire. Little drop of the shoulder from Maguire. Tried to go inside Jordan Tanzik. Fullback stood his ground. Sinfield again. And another decent run coming in from Liam Sutcliffe. Pressing this Castleford line here. Oh, a little fumble from Peacock. Little fumble then from Hardaker. It went backwards. Maguire with an overhead kick. Looking for the corner.
Oh, did well. Couldn't get it on the first attempt, but had enough wherewithal to just drag it in with one arm.
That's great work by Kirk Dixon.
Well, Eddie, you know, if the Tigers win this game, he'd have to be a candidate for man of the match. He had 7 very difficult kicks to deal with in the first half. He's had 2 in the first 5 minutes of the second. They continually put him under pressure, but so far he's been able to hold out.
Yeah, Kirk Dixon played the last 2 tries in both.
Problem for a Cas player, problem for a Leeds player as well. I can't work out who it is.
I think that's Maguire, who's flat out there.
Darryl Clark, the other Castleford player.
Well, let's go down to Bill Arthur, because he's got a much better view of it than we have.
Yeah, grandstand's view of that collision, and Danny Maguire's come off really badly by the look of things. He's holding his right arm. Seems to be getting to his feet now. They don't want another shoulder dislocation. But Rob Burrows sitting just behind me, recovering from his. Thankfully, Danny Maguire's back up on his feet, and so too is Darryl Clark, who's got a bit of a knock to his left ankle. I tell you what, Eddie, if Brian McDermott's demeanour during half-time is anything to go by, it's going to be a pretty fired-up Leeds Rhinos side coming up. Before half-time, he sat in the dugout smouldering, or rather, when the half-time hooter sounded, he sat there for a couple of minutes smouldering, then went into the dressing room. Didn't spend too long in there, in actual fact. Delivered his message, came back out and said to me that Castleford have given them just exactly what they anticipated, a real contest, and they're under no illusions in the second 40. It's going to be just as tough. It's going to take something special from Leeds, as good as they've produced all season, to get over the Tigers in the second 40 here.
I think it will. It's a really good contest, and when you consider, you know, the start of this year, some people had the temerity to say that Castleford were relegation candidates. They are anything but that in 2014.
No, they've been superb under the coach of Darryl Powell. He must feel very, very proud about it.
But here comes Maguire. He gets the ball down that left-hand channel.
Will it be a dribble into the in-goal area, or will they put some height on it?
It's got a bit of height. It's a crossfield kick from Maguire. All after it. Oh, and it's flicked by Hardaker. It found its way to Watkins, and here's Ben Jones-Bishop. He gets his second try of the night, does Ben Jones-Bishop. Just what Brian McDermott demanded of his team. A quick start to this second half. Look at his try return. That's the 7th try of this campaign. This is only his 5th start. He's only played 6 times now. 7 tries from 6. Fabulous.
Well, when you have trouble getting through a pretty solid defence, you've got to utilise the kick-up, and that was a wonderful knockdown and finished off well. The combination between Watkins and Jones-Bishop been superb. Maguire's kick was outstanding.
Well, Zach Hardaker leaps higher than Michael Shenton. Has the ball in 2 hands, just flops it over to Callum Watkins, who simply feeds it to Ben Jones-Bishop. A great start to the second half from Leeds Rhinos. The contest is back on. Castleford behind the sticks. Not too sure they'll be too concerned about the tries, the points. They'll just be bothered about getting back into the grind, doing the stuff that worked for them in the first half, working behind that good kicking game.
Well, they are aiming to become only the second team to win here this year, Leeds. If they do, the Rhinos will be 5 points clear of third place Castleford. Castleford know there's a long, long way to go in this match yet. They've proved their fighting qualities already this evening. And Sinfield here now with another conversion attempt that is so tight to the touchline. But he kicked superbly in the first half, didn't he, from similar positions? Can he maintain his 100% kicking record? 2 from 2 so far. this time he just pushes it the wrong side of the uprights. So it was a 2-point lead to Castleford at half-time. It's now a 2-point lead to Leeds.
And the coach, Brian McDermott, will be very pleased with this. It was a pinpoint kick there from Danny Maguire. Zach Hardacre picked it off, finished off in the corner. Try number 2 for Ben Jones-Bishop. He'll be pleased.
Yes, he delivered a quick-fire message. He won't be that pleased, but knows that there is plenty of time. Both coaches know there's plenty of time in this match. Whoops. And he got away with it.
Got a knock on?
With Stevie Ward.
He's given a knock on,
It is a knock on he's given.
Well, James Child was right in line with that, and he called that one okay. He said it went backwards. So there's a bit of Richard Silverwood's got the decision at the end, and he's decided the ball's gone forward.
No, that's gone backwards. You've got to say that. You can see how the body is twisted.
Well, the call from the side was okay from James Child, but Richard Silverwood has the final say.
Yes, the advice comes from the side. The referee makes the decision.
Well, here's Carney trying to make a decision for the Leeds defence.
What a great handoff as well. Boy, Ablett felt that.
Millington tries to go through 3 of them. Darrell Clark's waiting. Gives it then to Craig Hubie. The legs will pump from Hubie. He's within half a metre of the line. Clark points this way again and goes behind him to Lynch. And Lynch is squirming. And oh, that's great defence from Luluai.
It did well. I tell you what, Lynch did well to keep hold of that. He was dumped to the ground with the ball-carrying arm. Oh, he should have gone. He should have got that short pass if he could. Couldn't.
Well, he elected to hang on and go for it himself. Back it comes here to Mark Sneed. We can see what he did in the first half. Sneed, nice kick. And eventually the ball is shuttled dead by Danny Maguire.
Yeah, good positioning by Maguire, but that's the best way to apply the pressure. And a nice little chip over. But he's had a good game, hasn't he, Mark Sneed? This is real pressure.
Well, we've seen why Leeds are doing so well this season. It's the tries that they're saving again. Most of the games, many other teams would have allowed Andy Lynch to get over and put that ball down 4 more points, possibly 6. But somehow Leeds just preventing their opponents from just crashing over in close range. They are a great team at the moment. Very little in between these two sides. You'd expect Leeds maybe just to be narrowly ahead at the moment, the way they're playing. They've had a lot more ball in the second half. But here's a chance, Dave, to Castleford to strike back.
And Hubie will take it forward. But what a collision. What a hit by Brad Singleton that was.
Well, both of those players run into each other 100 miles an hour. Look at this. Boom. Love it, Eddie.
And Castleford almost through with Shenton.
Neat short pass, wasn't it? Good defence. Had to be again.
Lynch to Hubie.
Anybody drop back for the early kick? Will they wait until the last?
Clark and Finn. And there's the short ball to Haraki. Tried to get it away. And Leeds pounce on it in the shape of Jamie Peacock.
Great work by the prop forward, Peacock. Took the gamble. He tried that in the first half. Remember, Andy Lynch tried to get the ball away. Came up with the error. Saved it. Oh, just couldn't get the arms free.
I think Bill's comment was, you can try things like that when you're near your opponent's line. It's up to your teammates now, along with yourself, to back that up. But Jamie Peacock looked like he'd come from the dugout to jump on that ball. Secure possession, and the Rhinos look like they're going to get a good kick away at the end of this set.
They're running it here for the time being, though, with Stevie Ward, who was fed by Maguire. That's tackle number 4. They're still just inside their own half, though. And Sinfield gives it to Luluai.
They've done well, Eddie, to get in the opposition half, and that's the important factor. Will they go for the height? Will they go for Dixon?
He's with Maguire. They do go high, and they're going for Tansey. Tansey pouches it safely and then loses his feet. He is a former Leeds utility back, is Jordan Tansey, of course.
2-1 now, Jamie. Squarely in.
There's been a tremendous amount of effort from both sides. They really have got into each other. I suppose you'd have to think that the final quarter would have the most fuel left in the tank.
Good ball. Another good ball, well picked up by Shenton, and the tackle was well made by Ben Jones-Bishop. It's a knock on. Jones-Bishop did a lot of work on the ground then against Michael Shenton. The ball came out, And the referee sees it as simply a loose carry by Shenton.
Well, Mark Sneyd, he looked as though he was halfway through, and I just lost control of it. Yep, he's claiming that the elbow of the winger got in the way. Did it? I think it was his boot. It was his boot. You've got to respect possession. It's difficult for the official.
He had a little word with Richard Silverwood, and Richard Silverwood said it's up to you to keep hold of it.
Well, those are the margins, Eddie. If that pass is better from Sneyd, then I think Shenton has half a chance.
Moon to Maguire. Now Ward. Stevie Ward. He's missed the last 3. His last appearance was in the 46-6 Easter win that they picked up against Bradford. And here is a try for Watkins. No! Yes, Stevie, yes!
He should give this.
Ball carrying arm didn't touch the ground.
He should give this.
And he does. Second try for Watkins. Just had a deliberation with his touch judge, Tim Roby, with Richard Silverwood. And once got the nod from him, it was confirmed the ball carrying arm did not touch the ground.
Great work. Got it on offload there. They just hesitated. They were going backwards with the Castleford defence. They went far too high, and this is brilliant. Oh boy, keep that ball carrying arm up, and over you go.
Well, Liam Sutcliffe does everything right. He has the ball in 2 hands, and the minute that Shenton's hips are facing the sideline, he knows that if he steps off that right foot, he can provide a pass to an exceptional player. Callum Watkins gets over. Was he asking for the screen?
I think he believed, like many of us did, that Richard was going to hand it upstairs to
Sarcasm,
video referees.
No, I think it's quite clear to everybody that Watkins somehow just avoided putting the ball carrying arm on terra firma, and surely this man will have the extras.
This will put a bit of daylight between the two sides, and it does. Well, it's an 8-point ball game. It was 8-point lead for Castleford early. They led 8-0. Now it's 22-14 to the Rhinos, and Rob Burrow, Jamie Jones-Buchanan enjoying the watch as well.
Well, our guest here, Jamie Peacock, who we'll see at the Magic Weekend, played an important role. This is the second time that Leeds have scored a try where he's carried the ball forward, committed and held some middle defenders, and twisted and turned his pass. It's obviously been some brilliant play by the outside players then to put the points on the board. But not every team have a front rower who can run, commit defenders, twist and turn to deliver that accurate pass at the right time. Centrally important part now of the way that the game is played, and Peacock does it particularly well. When you think back in the early part of his career, he either couldn't or wasn't allowed to pass the ball. It's a skill he's developed over the last few years and developed it very well.
Loose pass, found its way on the bounce eventually to Liam Sutcliffe. Kylie Luluai
gets through a lot of work.
Magic Weekend, telephone numbers, website there. Rugby League today have released some extra tickets because it's so popular this year, and it is a magical weekend. Paul Wellens will be with us day 1, Jamie Peacock with us on day 2 as our special guest. 2 modern day legends of the game, and it will be a delight to sit alongside them in the studio.
It certainly will, Eddie, and that will be delightful for the coach Brian McDermott, because that kick and chase was superb. They're getting the confidence back, aren't they, which is not surprising. 2 quick tries, Ben Jones-Bishop, then Watkins.
And they're keeping Justin Carney very quiet tonight.
We're seeing some
tackle number 3.
Sorry, Eddie, we're seeing some great defence. Oliver Holmes putting a good defensive effort in as we see a knock on.
Well, this could have been deemed to have gone backwards as well, but Richard Silverwood is consistent.
Well, I think he actually runs beyond that. The ball travels forward, he actually runs in front of it, so I think that one is a knock-on.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to be the dummy runner. Lack of communication.
This is the test now for Castleford. Things are going against them. The scoreboard's ticked against them. A knock-on again, errors. Have they got the mental resilience here to hang on? They can't allow Leeds to extend this lead. It would be too much, I think, for them to claw back. They must just ride through the difficult period and control and contain Leeds as best they can.
Briscoe got up a head of steam then that was quickly snuffed out. Sinfield, Peacock takes it forward as far as Lynch, as far as Darrell Clark, as far as Grant Millington. Sinfield again, a scampering run, finds Sutcliffe. He then gets it away to Maguire. Maguire then to Hardacre. A grab at Hardacre by Haraki, and eventually down he goes underneath the considerable weight of Craig Hubie.
Leeds have got enough experience out there, Eddie, to know that they've got that lead, so therefore they can just camp down in this position.
Watkins
wonderful step.
Watkins on a hat-trick. There's Carl Ablett. Now it's with Maguire in behind the player. Oh, Sinfield was hunting that. Good work by Hubie.
Was it ever? To see a prop forward position himself there, a lot of people perhaps would say, was he having a rest? No, he wasn't. He was in a defensive position and came back so quickly. Well done, that man.
He's worked extra hard. He saw the kick going, turned round and chased. And you complimented JP on his attack, the way he can pass the ball. I don't think there's two better forwards in the game than Lynch and Hubie. The pre-line passing, the skills that they've got, is probably the envy of most front rows in the game.
Leeds beginning to turn the screw here as Delaney makes some good yards forward.
They're just a little bit lazy at the Tigers at the moment, getting out of the blocks.
Only 2 tackles gone this set of 6. Sinfield scampers away, gives the ball to Peacock. Peacock stands. Ooh, did he drop that? Play on, says the referee. It's with Maguire.
They got the numbers there again. Hubie got straight in. Tansey also.
Sinfield. Back it comes to Sutcliffe. Here is Ablett. And Ablett keeps it going up the middle. Here comes the last tackle for the Rhinos.
Dink into the in-goal area, surely.
Sutcliffe going himself will turn over the ball right underneath the Castleford Tigers sticks.
Well, at least he's only a metre out. Perhaps Brian McDermott will not be too upset about it.
But you've just seen how much at the bottom of your screen Leeds have had almost 70% of the ball in this second half. That will turn around if Castleford can hang on, and they'll get some possession inside their post half. But this is a difficult period. Very difficult. We heard Craig Hubie talk before the game. As a local lad, he started playing for the Pontefract Lions, ended up here at Castleford. And to take on Leeds here now in a difficult contest, when you expect Leeds to have full control, there's been a good start to the second half for them. But the Tigers now, look at them, trapped here, but trying everything they can to get forward.
Yeah, that was sloppy play, though, sloppy passing. A little bit more quicker there. The big fella trying to get it away, and he has got it away.
He did to Darrell Clark. It was risky business, wasn't it? It came off for them. Finn. And Sneed with a chip over the top. And it's picked up by Carney. Carney has got support. But, well, Tom Briscoe stood his ground.
Tremendous play by Briscoe. We mentioned before the game started that the Leeds effort to get back. We spoke about reading the game in defence. When the ball comes through, the winger gets himself in a great position. He saved a certain try, did Tom Briscoe.
And Leeds begin this set of 6 from midway inside their own half. They're still there after 2 tackles. Sinfield, Ablett up the middle. Oh, taken off his feet. How about that from Grant Millington? Leeds just get on with the business, though. This is Joel Moon.
Boy, Millington enjoyed this. Bang. I'm not so sure Ablett did.
And Castleford have enjoyed this because Joel Moon's just been shoved over the whitewash on the far side. They're going to get head and feed.
Power. Adding weight. Got the first defence in and then just had the 2 assisting to get into the whitewash. This game's not over yet, don't worry.
Not by a long chalk. Phil mentioned Craig Hubie coming from the amateur game in this part of the world. The Castleford and Featherstone Amateur Rugby League are staging the David Poulter Open Cup final here on Wednesday night. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. The Tigers really are supporting the amateur game locally these days. The match will be played here. Chequerfield Rangers taking on Methley Royals Wednesday night. That's the 14th, and it's a kickoff at 7 o'clock. And they will enjoy playing on this field, no doubt about that.
He'll be sore tomorrow, Eddie.
He will, but they all will. Barry. They all will. But what? Oh, and that's a bit of a mix-up there by Ashley Gibson, I think it was.
Yeah.
But what a privilege, though, for the amateurs to be playing on this field.
It's a glorious surface, and we've already said, such a unique atmosphere. As you see, Ashley Gibson, a former Leeds player, of course, making his debut. There's Kylie Luluai.
Shoulder charge, wasn't it, Stuart?
Oh,
in
no
the strict
idea.
sense of the word, Stuart, that was a shoulder.
In the sense of the word, that's a shoulder charge.
No way. That's rugby league, that, Stuart.
In your day, Barry.
That's rugby league. That's what the people want to watch.
Well, they might do, but it's not allowed. That is a shoulder charge by Luluai.
Should have been a penalty.
No.
Should have been a penalty.
No.
But he just can't rip up the record books and the rule books, Barry, because you don't like it.
I'm going to sit here and fold my arms because I think that's brilliant rugby league.
Well, if you fold your arms, that's a shoulder charge up here as well, so just behave yourself. Sinfield gets the ball away to Maguire. This is Stevie Ward.
I don't know who's going to hold the microphone for you if you told you.
Well, I know I'll be shoulder charging first.
Good position, though, by Leeds. It's the experience that is telling now, and this should be another good kick. Look at Sinfield, calling him out. I want it right. Maguire.
He's looking for Ben Jones-Bishop here. He's looking for Watkins. And Dixon does brilliantly well and was taken out in the air.
Yeah, good take by Carney, but there was contact. But the one thing that will please Brian McDermott, the Leeds coach, is that he hasn't had many opportunities, as is the big fella, Justin Carney.
It was Carney, not Dixon, my mistake. Apologies.
He's had to go looking for work as well as Carney.
He has. They've kept him really quiet, as I said earlier. So Clark to Hubie. Oh, almost through was Sneed. Live wire of a scrum half is Mark Sneed.
Yeah, it certainly is. And that was a good move. It's something that Daryl Powell's brought to this team. You know, that switch from the open side to the blind side.
Millington.
Good tackle there by Luluai.
Four tackles gone. That was Wielden. This is Finn. Oh, and a looping pass to Sneed again in a little bit of space. Nice ball, but forward. And Luluai picked out Grant Millington anyway. It was another heck of a tackle from Luluai. This is legal.
Oh boy, they've had a real battle royal. Millington and Luluai, but again, a mistake by the Tigers at an important part of the game. Far too many of those errors.
I think he's got to come off. That's the signal, isn't it, from the physio?
It's
Millington has to come away.
Absolutely amazing, Eddie, that Castleford are still in this contest when you consider since half-time how many errors they've made when they've had the ball inside the post half. Once or twice they were unlucky, penalised for obstruction, but they've got very little chance of winning unless they start to control the ball better. As you can see, give Leeds more than 60% of this, the possession. You've got absolutely no chance of winning.
Well, they're digging deep, the Tigers, there's no doubt about that. And as well as the scoreboard, with only 15 minutes remaining, the clock is their enemy as well. What a game they're serving up, these two sides. Jamie Peacock will be interviewed in Super League Superstars tonight, 10:15, immediately after we've finished here on 3. Warrington Catalan tomorrow for 7:30 on 2. Ablett trying to go past Holmes and Shenton. They stick to him.
It always surprised me why the defence trying to go high on Ablett. He's such a strong man. Another kick.
Clarkson.
Another kick. Apply the pressure. Maguire's there.
Nice kick to the corner. This is a tester for Dixon. Oh, it's claimed by Hardaker. Dixon is there. Finn is there. There's 3 others there as well. And that's the turnover. That's good defence again from Cass.
It had to be as well, but the biggest problem that Cass now have is it's about the 4th, 5th time in the last 10 minutes where they've just had to trundle the ball out, and look at the eagerness that you're finding on this Leeds defence.
Millington finally leaves the stage. Could be trying to get him off for quite some time. He is now replaced, and Hubie is back. Here he is, straight into the action, gets the ball away. Castle would have to take chances, but this is dangerous stuff. They're right near their own try line. Wonderful defence now on show from Leeds.
Good
and
tackle.
It has been all season.
Yeah, good tackle by Liam Sutcliffe. put himself on this right-hand side in the centre position. Defence has been solid.
Tansey to Sneed, to Finn, and they go wide. Now, what is there here for Ashley Gibson? A pass inside to Haraki. Great ball out the back to Gibson.
Haraki's 100 pass. That was sensational. It's got to be a good kick. Get some height.
He does, Liam Finn. Up it goes. Ben Jones-Bishop's after this. He's lost it behind him. It's not a bad place to turn over the ball for Castleford in the end.
Well, now it's time for the Leeds Rhinos to suffer what the Tigers have had to do over the last 15 minutes. What a kick. He misjudged it, didn't he? Had the ability to get back in time.
Steve-O, it's very hard to judge on TV just what those balls do. When they're up in the air, they take a nasty kink, a nasty twist at the last second. The players practice and practice and practice. Ben Jones-Bishop, of course, is a fullback by trade. Wouldn't drop that normally. As Leeds put in a good kick, a pressure-relieving kick.
What a great kick by the skipper. They went early, didn't wait until the last, went on the fourth. And talk about turning the game around. That is so much experience.
Yes, here they come again. The Castleford Tigers. Tansey.
Good refereeing there by Richard Silverwood. Okay, they know both sides are getting very tired, so it's a little bit messy at the play the ball area.
Sneed, he's elusive, isn't he, Sneed? Good tackle by Ablett, and it needed to be. He was away. That could have been a penalty.
He said, get up.
He's pushing forward, says Richard Silverwood. And Castleford are pushing forward.
They're not giving this up for the Tigers, that's for sure. They've got to make sure it's a good kick.
Holmes. Oh, it's a kick from Oliver Holmes. That's not in the Darryl Powell coaching manual, I don't think. Briscoe picks it up, though, on his own line.
That is, though, Eddie. Great kick chase. Oliver Holmes, you're right, he's a second rower. Found himself in a position to kick. He put the kick in and led the chase. This is a great game. Mark Sneed's having a growing influence when he tucks the ball under his arm, uses that good footwork of his. Cass have still got a say in this game yet.
Yes, but 11 minutes remaining, that's all. Here is Peacock. Back it comes to Maguire. Good work again from Church. Sinfield. The game's being played at quite a pace, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Clarkson ducks underneath one from Hubie.
And there's quite a few players on both sides. They're struggling.
Last tackle here, so there's the kick from Maguire. Let's hear from Bill, because Castleford picking it up behind their own post. Bill?
Eddie, he's doing it again. Jamie Peacock putting in another remarkable performance, leading the side, really, and barking out instructions in this last set of six. Has not been off so far. Has made 29 tackles, 20 carries, and there's no sign of him leaving this field. I don't imagine that they wouldn't even consider taking him out of the firing line at the moment. Don't think he'd leave.
No, he'd just shake his head and he'd get back in the defensive line, which is exactly what he's doing now. That's good work by Joel Moon.
They've worked as a unit, and it has been difficult for the home side to get into good field position.
Scott Wheeldon.
It seems as though it's like 5-10 minutes, but where's this going to go? Pin down the middle.
Another awkward one for Ben Jones-Bishop. Eventually gets to it. Oh! Well, he slipped then, and Hubie will be saying, thank goodness he did.
I think he pulled
Watkins.
I think he pulled back the left arm. He knew he was slipping to him, and well, maybe not. Either way, he's got away with it. Is Ben Jones-Bishop. But this is where I keep talking about the experience, and this is why Leeds are so good. They know that at times they've just got to, face it out. Use the big fellas. Just grind it out. Doesn't have to be anything fancy.
It's been a really good game, this, and only 5 penalties in the match as well. And we're in the 72nd minute. And here we are at the last tackle for Leeds. The kick again from Maguire. Goes long. Oh, he was aiming for the post pads then.
Yeah, and he had a backspin on it as well.
Didn't find it though, it ran dead.
And they'll be quite happy with the result here. They know they can get their defence lined up.
Would you gamble, Mike, here? A 40-20 kick, perhaps after this play, before the wingers drop back? It's a massive risk, I accept. But they need possession near Leeds line if they want to win the match.
I think you're spot on, Phil. It didn't look as though they're going to do it. Oh, that was forward.
It's dropped anyway by Mariano. Leeds have got the mistake they were hunting, and they begin this set of 6, 14 metres away.
That was a lazy build-up, lazy pass.
Delaney goes down.
Just needed a little bit more guidance out there to the Tigers. They'll get it from the Leeds outfit, though.
Yes, he's Sutcliffe again and flicked on and forward, wasn't it, by Watkins? It was.
Yeah, that's his first mistake as well, Watkins.
Risky play, that.
He's had a fine game. He raises the arm and says, no, I put you all under pressure. It's a good job that they've got that 8-point cushion.
Let's get down to Bill again.
I wonder if Jamie Peacock is going to go through the entire 80 minutes or whether he might get a breather before the end of this game. Brad Singleton is out on the sidelines. He's been out once already, and it looked as though JP was going to come off, but Chris Poon, one of Brian McDermott's assistants, went on, had a word with the big man, and gave the thumbs up, and Jamie Peacock is still out there, and the youngster Singleton is still waiting to get his chance. The old man won't give way.
No, it won't. It'll be a remarkable effort from him if he does the full 80 again. Here is Webster.
Now then, will it be a little chip over the top? Hardacre is deep. Got to come up with something different.
Ooh. That was risky from Sneed. It bounced into the arms of Jordan Tansey. Leeds were hunting that.
Well, it was different, all right, but it wasn't executed all that well. Now then, will Mark Sneed come up with something?
It's a high kick. Easy though for Hardacre. Bounces off Liam Finn, keeps coming again. Wielden was there.
That was a great kick, Eddie. It deserved a better chase as well. It wasn't as if it was an early kick. And Castleford, they need to work harder those little efforts. And sporadically, the Castleford players are doing it. Collectively, they need to just pick the game up. There's 7 minutes left. And they're still in this game. I keep saying it, they're still in this game, Castleford.
They are, but they have to score twice, Barry. It's an 8-point lead for the Leeds Rhinos, the league leaders. Peacock still going strong. 6 minutes from the end.
What an engine that guy has got. Look where they've pushed themselves into for the final kick.
And it's with Maguire, and he'll try and drill the ball into touch. He finds the corner flag, so it's a 20-metre restart.
And you can see the look on his face. He's disappointed with that. But the way Leeds are... You've got to give a lot of credit as well, Phil, in regards to the way that, you know, when Castleford have put the ball deep down and with the chase, it's been the Leeds three-quarters that have taken a lot of responsibility off the shoulders of the forwards.
I think Leeds have been outstanding. I thought they may be mentally a little flat tonight. They had a very sapping contest in the Challenge Cup against St Helens. Then they played that very intense Super League game against Wigan last week. I thought perhaps there was a reason maybe they'd be flat tonight, but clearly a very impressive second 40. Very few errors, great control, forcing the defensive mistakes here from the Castleford side.
Steve, I just want to pick up on your point. You're giving credit quite rightly to the centres and their defensive efforts. I think Joe Moon sometimes gets overshadowed by the other players in the team, the Briscoes, the Watkins, the Jones, the Ryan Hall. Joe Moon works his socks off in defence. He reminds me of a former Castleford favourite, Richie Blackmore. Played for both clubs, and he has that stuttering, stumbling style, but Joe Moon has worked tirelessly tonight in defence.
Well, both defences have been on top for the last 20 minutes because we haven't had a point scored in that 20-minute period, and here we are now, 4.5 minutes away from the end, and Peacock is still motoring and still going strong. This is Sinfield. Here they come now with Singleton. He finds Maguire, a short ball from him, and it sticks. It sticks with Achurch. And Sinfield gets it away to Hardacre. There are 4 yellow jerseys there to halt him. Here comes the last tackle for the Rhinos to the in-goal area. Knock on by Tansey. Knock on. Head and feet to Leeds.
How smart was that by the skipper, Kevin Sinfield? Never even bothered to bend down, just kicked it away. You can do that. Knock on. Wasn't anticipating it, the fullback, Jordan Tansey. Smart player, isn't he, Kevin Sinfield? Great leader. Look at that. You don't expect that in defence. He comes up with something unusual nearly every game.
Hardacre showed it to Briscoe. Gave it in the end to Sutcliffe, who was picked up and dumped to the ground by Mark Sneed. Here is Peacock. Peacock, down he goes.
Would you put your money on a hat-trick for Watkins? He's had a fine game.
Maguire. Solid defence needed again, and it was. As Church was crashing towards the line. Sinfield, Maguire, Peacock. Just slipped at the vital moment. The legs finally gave way.
Here's the link. Two dummy runners, get the link working. No, they've gone on that short blindside.
With Clarkson, down he goes. This is the last again for Leeds.
It'll be a short kick by Danny Maguire, in goal area. No, they're gone by blindside.
Church to the in goal and too long. Now then, Castleford's last chance.
Kick the ball to a sideline.
Well, there's nobody back, not yet. No, they're not taking the risk. It is an optional restart, that, isn't it? They could have done it. They could have gone for distance. Instead, they've gone for the tap with Dixon. And if they find touch, they get a scrum feed, as it is, because of a forward pass. Leeds will get the scrum feed, and Leeds will go home tonight with the victory that takes them 5 points clear of Castleford, who will stay in third place.
And that comes about, Eddie, because they are getting very tired indeed. It wasn't the best from Milner.
Let's go, guys.
And he knows it too. Webster had just ran past him. This will be old-fashioned up the jumper side. Surely.
I don't know whether Leeds can do that these days.
I think the Tigers, the supporters would accept. They've been brilliant over the last 12 months, the way they've climbed from almost the bottom to the top of the higher parts of the Super League. But they've seen tonight what it takes to be at the very top, because Leeds clearly are the standard mark for any team in Super League, whether it be an attack or defence. They've got great quality, they've got brilliant finishing ability, and they've defensively in the second half shown us how you need to win tough matches.
Here's Peacock again, and they have another tough match coming at the Magic. For Darryl Powell and Castleford, it's Wakefield. For Leeds, it's a date with Wigan. Sinfield to the in-goal area. Ablets after this. Good work by Dixon. He tidies up.
He'll be pleased with that, Brian McDermott. He knows in the last 20 minutes of this game, they have control, field position. The kick, it's just been a nightmare for the Tigers to get anywhere near to applying pressure to Leeds. And the Leeds fans, they're celebrating at the back of the post. They know they've got those 2 vital points, and they are vital.
Yes, they are. Leeds have travelled in numbers to be here tonight to see this. And Leeds in no hurry, because Maguire just had a look at the big screen, saw there's 15 seconds remaining.
Kicking into touch.
They're counting down the Rhinos fans to another victory. This remarkable run of Brian McDermott's team goes on, and Peacock fittingly takes the last tackle of the match. He's been out there for 80 solid minutes as Jamie Peacock. And Leeds, they were trailing at half-time. They've come from behind to win the match. They re-established their superiority at the top of the table. It's now a 3-point gap between themselves and St Helens, 5 between themselves and Castleford, who they have beaten tonight. The Tigers have given them a real run for their money, and there's nothing to suggest that the Tigers won't be playoff contenders come the end of the season if they keep this going, because they'll play worse than this against certain sides and win. But tonight they've come up against the Leeds Rhinos, who are in mean mood in 2014.
They certainly have, Eddie, and I must say, you've got to congratulate both sides for putting on a wonderful performance. But the Leeds pack, you talk about laying the foundation to what you've got a three-quarter line. All the tries coming from Leeds tonight, from that excellent three-quarters. You know, give them the opportunity, and they have the skill factor to make sure they win the game.
Delaney with ice on the shoulder. The man of the match is Callum Watkins. He's with Bill.
Callum, that was every bit as tough as I'm sure you anticipated going into this one.
Yeah, we expected that. You know, Cass have been playing really, really well this year, and you know, we expected a tough battle, as we do all the time again with Leeds and Cass.
You wouldn't have been surprised to find yourselves 8-0 down early on, I suppose, because they have been coming out and hitting opponents, haven't they?
Yeah. You know, the attack is great, and you know, they really got a good start. And you know, we looked at ourselves and looked defensively, and we worked hard, and you know, ended up getting a win.
Well, we're looking at your 2 tries. Satisfying night for you on that front.
Yeah, it was nice to get the ball and go over for a try, and you know, set Bish up for a couple of tries as well. So really pleased with Bish anyway, because he's not played as much. He's been our pick in the team from the back line. So you know, a lot of competition in that, and you know, he really played well tonight.
Thanks, Callum. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Couldn't do it without the forwards, could you? And one of them especially, Jamie Peacock, who did the entire 80 minutes. Was that the plan?
I don't know, no, just Macca left me out there, and it was a good team performance, and Cass are playing well this year. It was good for ourselves to come from behind at half-time and put out a second half like that, and keep a team who had the best attack scoreless in the second half.
Well, that was the thing. You really did, obviously, at half-time, set your stall out, what you were going to achieve in the second 40.
Yeah, we needed to crank it up a bit. They got down into our half and scored too easily, and thought we built a lot of pressure in the second half, and come out and played well that first 10-15 minutes, and managed to get a couple of tries, and then just stayed in the arm wrestle at the end.
I've got to ask you, there was a point where it looked as though you were going to come off, and you decided you were going to carry on.
No, look, I just enjoyed playing out there, and it's good to... Macca's got some confidence to lead me out there, and you know, I probably haven't got too many times left like this, so it's about making the most of it, I suppose.
Well done tonight, Jamie. Thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
We can hear from Brian McDermott now as well, and you said at half-time that Cass hadn't disappointed you. You got exactly what you thought you were going to get here tonight.
Well, it's good when you preempt things and it happens. We were expecting a tough game, and that certainly was. I'll tell you, that's been the toughest game we've had this year. Maybe not the fastest because of the conditions, and maybe not the more skillful for me, the team, but the conditions played that. But in terms of intensity and being tested through the night, that's the worst. That's the hardest it's been for us.
Were you pleased in that respect that you saw other elements of your side tonight?
Well, we did talk at half-time that at the end of the year you look something completely different to when you start, and along that journey you pick up things, and you've got to have some sharp tools at the end of the year. Sometimes it's open stuff and sometimes it's tough stuff, and tonight's it's in the bag. It's one of these nights that you've got to come up with the goods.
Thanks, Brian. Let's hear from opposite number Daryl Powell, who's down here as well. Daryl, that really was a game in 2 halves, wasn't it? Because you were in it up to the half-time hooter. Second half, Leeds took it away from you, really.
Oh, well, we probably took it away from ourselves with the amount of errors that we made. You know, it's probably... You know, I thought all the boys worked so hard. You can see that. You know, we've had to defend pretty tough. I mean, the short turnaround, it looked like that in the second half, to be honest. And you know, I don't think that's great. But just the amount of errors. You know, the commitment and effort from the players is there. And I thought first half, a little bit unlucky, to be fair. You know, there's some tough calls there. You know, I'm over some of that stuff, that obstruction stuff. I don't know where we're going with it, but...
Do we need to see the back of that?
Oh, just consistency would help, wouldn't it? You know, you just don't know what you're getting. It's the same every week. You know, you talk to John Sharp at times.
No, I don't want to...
Oh, no, I've just had enough of They've just got to get rid of it, and, you know, referees just got to make better decisions with their own eyes, I think.
There were also, in the first half, there were opportunities you could maybe have made the most of.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I thought we made some errors when we were in good field position, and, you know, we played pretty well in the first half, I thought. And if we'd have taken another one of those, a little bit of a cushion at half-time, but we looked a little bit tired in the second half, and the boys, they worked really hard, and they have done all season, and, you know, they've got a few days off now, and they really deserve it.
So do you. Thanks, Daryl.
Cheers, thank you.
We'll see him at the Magic against Wakefield next week. It's been no fluke, though, this season that the Castleford Tigers have enjoyed. Okay, they've lost to Leeds Rhinos tonight. They've beaten Wigan and they've beaten Warrington otherwise this season. And they've not qualified for the playoffs in 5 years, but they gave enough evidence tonight that they could make it in 2014. But Leeds go home with the points.
Looks like a job for the old Magic sponge.
This is the weekend where dreams become reality and England welcomes in a new dawn, where the tour comes home the streets come alive, where there's a first and last chance for European glory, and city rivals fight to be crowned champions. The ultimate weekend, live on Sky Sports.
Sometimes, you just have to believe you can make it. It was the same when I quit smoking. Nicorette Quick Mist took the edge off the craving so I could finally quit. And now I've done that, I feel I can do anything.
Nicorette Quick Mist is an instant release spray for fast craving relief. Nicorette, do something incredible.
Some things can get in the way of your time together, like erectile dysfunction. Or like having to go more frequently or urgently, symptoms of BPH. Ignoring it isn't the answer. Talk to your doctor. Help is available. You'll be glad you got it out of the way.
Because we insure millions of school runs worldwide,
Have you got your lunchbox? Yes.
we know just how the morning can feel. Allianz Insurance from A to Z.
Click and fit at over 1,300 UK garages. It's easy. Click and fit for unbelievable prices on tyres at blackcircles.com.
When Daddy had an accident, he was hurt a lot. It's not been easy for Mummy, but we've been getting help. Now Daddy's more like my daddy, and I'm his little princess again.
At Irwin Mitchell Solicitors, we've secured over £1 billion in the last 2 years to help injured people get their lives back on track.
That's why I'm with Irwin Mitchell.
Because compensation is only part of the story.
Mama and Papa were away when the rebels attacked. We had to leave to get to the safe zone. I felt sad. I thought we were orphans. But Christian Aid said they'll look for our parents. And a year later, they found them. I was so happy. Your donations made us a family again. But millions of children still need your help. Please give as much as you can this Christian Aid Week.
San Pellegrino, live in Italian.
When's Game Changers on?
It's live on Saturdays at 9 o'clock. It's hardly breaking news.
Looks like a job for the old magic sponge.
Well, it was hard fought, but it was a Leeds victory in the end. They were 14-12 down at half-time. They are going to take a lot of credit from the fact that he kept the Castleford Tigers scoreless in the second half. 22-14 it ended up. 2 tries apiece for Jones, Bishop and Watkins. Sinfield kicked 3 goals. Dixon, Sneed and Sneed with the 3 goals for the Castleford Tigers. Over 9,000 here on a pig of a night as well. Let's have a look what the stats will tell us from that Castleford and Leeds performance with Phil.
Well, in the first half, possession was shared almost exactly evenly, but in the second half, it didn't happen. Look, Castleford had 57 play the balls, just 7 on the left-hand side of your screen, inside the opposition's 20-metre zone, where you've got most chance of scoring tries. And when we turn this over, this is quite remarkable. Very rare will you see a match of rugby league where one team gets 32 play the balls, more than their opponents, in a 40-minute period. Just look how much possession Leeds had in the middle of the field. In fact, they had more than 3 times as many play the balls inside the opposition 20. Their control of where the game was played and their control of possession ultimately won them this game.
Yes, great victory for the Leeds Rhinos. Here comes the analysis of the second half with John and Brian.
Yes, thanks very much, Eddie. Yet again, in fact, for the 11th time in 12 Super League games, the Leeds Rhinos remarkably have kept the opposition to 2 Super League tries or less. It's quite a statistic, and it does make that St Helens victory over the Leeds Rhinos seem all the more significant now. So no Castleford tries to show you in the second half. They've done well to shut out a team that had scored the most points in Super League going into this round. Well, we saw 2 players grab their second tries in the second half, and we're going to start, John, with Ben Jones-Bishop's second try from great work by Zach Hardacre.
Yeah, Ben Jones-Bishop, he's had to bide his time and he's done very well to finish. But this was crafted by Kevin Sinfield, and the realisation, I think, that given that Kirk Dixon and Justin Carney have been superb underneath the high ball throughout the game, you needed to try a different area of the field to get some success. First person I want to pick out is Zach Hardacre. Now, he does call for this ball. I've looked. Kevin Sinfield's not watching, but that's not the point. He knows where he wants this. There's the call. The kick is coming to an area of the field where you generally find the smallest people, and that is right in this area here, and it's Mark Sneed who's going to be right underneath it. Shenton on the inside as well. But look at Zach Hardacre, who gets up there, gets over the top of his opposition centre, and then look at the effect of what's happened here. Sneed is in, Carney is in, 2 Leeds defenders on the outside. And once this runs
Ben Jones-Bishop holding his wing as well, which is good discipline.
Yeah, that's years of experience and patience. And as I said, he's had to be very, very patient in terms of getting a start on the field. And I thought he took his chances very, very well. Although we've been used to seeing more spectacular things from him in the past. They all count for the same, don't they?
Another man that's had to be very patient because of the quality ahead of him at the Leeds Rhinos. In fact, he spent some time at the Bradford Bulls early on this year. Is Liam Sutcliffe. Well, he came on and he showed us some of the skill that he has with a wonderful break to set up Callum Watkins for Callum's second try.
Yeah, he played an instrumental part in this. I think the setup from the Leeds Rhinos, first of all, was pretty impressive. Kylie Luluai, the first line runner who's going to take this straight at the Leeds defence. And then look and see how this play unfolds. You've got Carl Ablett through on a superb second line as well. There's Carl Ablett, he's going through this space. And as a consequence, you've got Michael Shenton, who comes in, does recover to get back out, but actually over-chases, I feel, and Liam Sutcliffe, who is just hanging out the back here, is the one you need to keep your eye on as he goes through the line. So let's...
Would you think Ollie Holmes is a better defender than he showed on this occasion?
I think Ollie Holmes has had a great game in defence. I just think he's not picked up soon enough. There's the point where Shenton over-chases, tries to put the brakes on, the ground gives way, slips, and once he's through the hole, he finds the support in Callum Watkins. This is really smart. This is really, really smart play. Goes for the pass, realises the pass isn't on, and then has the strength and presence of mind to keep that ball carrying up, that all-important ball carrying arm off the floor until the time comes when the try line appears.
Of course, that's their attacking play. We did get plenty of examples during that second half of their brilliant defence.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We are limited from the time and the amount of things that we can show you. There would have been 50 or 60 different individual efforts we could have shown you from Leeds, both collectively and great individual efforts. I think Tom Briscoe, a very important stop on around the 60-minute mark, which was key, I think, to stopping Castleford's momentum during that fight back. But yeah, as you said, to keep Castleford scoreless in that second half is some feat, particularly given the way that team has been attacking this season.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant again for the Castleford Tigers. A great atmosphere inside here in the ground, but the Leeds Rhinos just too good on this occasion. Their bandwagon trundles on, and this is a fantastic season for them. Back to you now, Eddie.
Thanks very much, Brian. You see, it's all glamour in television. There they are, the boys. They're underneath. What is it? The Sky Sports gazebo, parked in the car park. It's been a great view you've had of this match, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. A red brick wall.
Well, great analysis just the same. The table looks, well, pretty good if you're a Leeds Rhinos fan, doesn't it? 3 points clear of the Saints, 5 clear of the Castleford Tigers, 7 clear of Wigan and Widnes, Huddersfield, Hull and Warrington making up the top 8. Of course, all the rest will play tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Let's take a look at the tries from this match, gentlemen, because there were some spectacular efforts in the most woeful conditions.
Yeah, well, we expected that one of the coaches, or maybe both coaches, would say, well, we need to get it out wide because they have the firepower. And no surprise that it was all the 3 quarters that scored the tries tonight. But this guy was in absolute sensational form, you know. Callum Watkins scored 2 tries himself and, of course, created 2. You can't do much better than that. You get the forwards working hard, put them in a position, and you need that quality and skill to finish it off.
You were right to give Callum Watkins the man of the match, but I thought the platform was late. He had a sensational game, Mark Sneed. When you think he isn't wanted by his parent club, they've got better options in their opinion, and Mark Sneed, every time he plays, has a growing influence on Castleford's chances of winning. Ben Jones-Bishop. I think Callum Watkins again. Everybody's together in the Leeds team, whether they play, whether they take the pitch or not. They're all got that single togetherness, that family unit atmosphere that you want. But Callum Watkins has an awareness of where the try line is in, and John Wells is right. He had that ball away from his body because he was looking to pass it, he was looking to offload it. But I have to say, I love Thursday games. I love Thursday Rugby League. I feel like I get an extra week, an extra day for my weekend.
Well, absolutely you do, and you know, it's always a delight to have you with. Before you start shoulder charging me on the way to the car park.
You're not in danger. You were one of the few that weren't in danger.
I may be. It was simple as that.
Okay. Look,
Eddie,
okay, go on.
You talk about the fact that, you know, forwards do the basics. The second half, they were a bit rusty with Leeds in that first half, but the second half just showed you the professionalism that they have running through this side. You know, the way that Peacock did the full 80 minutes and Luluai just kept taking it up and taking it up. This is where you need to settle things down. The kicking game from Leeds in the second half, superb. It was one of the most professional games that I've seen Leeds provide in the second half.
Well, yeah, I mean, we wax lyrical about the Leeds Rhinos, and rightly so. They're top of the table. They're not top of the table for nothing. I'd like to talk about Castleford, because this is only their 4th defeat of the season. And when you look at the figures alongside those defeats, it was a defeat by 1 point last week, 2 points previously, 7 points, 8 points. They're so close, aren't they? They're so close to being a real challenger for this title this year.
Well, you only have to listen to what Brian McDermott, I think he's probably talking about his half-time speech. He said that you start the season looking one way, you finish the season looking another way, and that's what Castleford need to do. They need to learn by the mistakes, and you saw a very deflated, disappointed Darryl Powell when they were beaten by St Helens. He'd probably feel very similar, and it being his former club as well. I think there's a little bit inside that as well. But I do think that Castleford show flashes, show that they potentially can match it with the big boys. They've just got to try and string 80 minutes. I thought Oliver Holmes was magnificent in defence. It was a shame that he was to blame, partially to blame for the try that Callum Watkins scored. But yeah, they're not too far away, and I think Darryl Powell will really reinforce that during the week.
I'm sure
he made it spot on, Eddie. He did, Darryl Powell. He just said they came up with too many errors. You know, they were the professional side, Leeds, in the second half. The Castleford side will learn a lot from this loss. They really will, because Darryl Powell realised, you know, trying to force the pass, trying to do things when they were actually in command in that first half. They had the opportunities, but when you fritter them away with too many errors, you're not going to win a game.
No, you're not. But as I said in the commentary, you know, Castleford will play worse than that this season, and they will pick up plenty of points. They, like Huddersfield last year, they are the real deal in 2014. Okay, coming up right now on Sky Sports 4, it's available to you if you are a lover of the Players' Championship, and who isn't? It's a fantastic tournament, this. The PGA Tour from the USA, the Players' Championship, is available now on Sky Sports 4. And coming up tonight at midnight on Sky Sports 1, the NFL from America, the draft pick. Who gets the picks? The teams at the bottom get the picks of the players for next season. Midnight Sky Sports 1 tonight for the NFL draft pick. That'll be drama. We also will have the man who we have seen running around for 80 minutes at 36 years of age, a Super League superstar without question. Jamie Peacock is the subject tonight, and that's next here on 3. Tomorrow we're at Warrington Wolves against the Catalan Dragons, 7:30 on Sky Sports 2. And don't forget, next week it's the Magic Weekend, 2 wonderful days, Saturday, Sunday from midday, on 3 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, with special guests Paul Wellens and that man again, Jamie Peacock, MBE. From Steve-O, Barry and me and all the team here, hope you've enjoyed it. Bye-bye. Quickly, and there's the first strike for Dixon. This is Watkins. Watkins gets to the Ben Jones.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.
Last tackle. He's looking for the crossfield kick. And it's worked a treat.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Isuzu D-Max sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League.
Live tomorrow, Championship playoff action on Sky Sports 1 at 7:30. One-day international cricket, Scotland take on England on Sky Sports 2 at 10 a.m. And practice for the Spanish Grand Prix on Sky Sports F1 at 8:45 a.m.
This is Sky Sports, your home of sport.
Royal London have been around for ages, so hold dear those classic values of the past. Loyalty, care, helping people hide their cheese from the Vikings.
Where is cheese?
I don't know what cheese is.
Huh? Cheese!
Take Screaming Paulina. She got a pension tailored to suit her thriving turnip venture.
Dirty one. Take a sniff of this. Amazing. Oh, Mummy.
And Flemmy Stew has a wonderfully straightforward pension. Just maybe not the time to enjoy it.
Thanks for coming. No, you're real busy.
Lil Pete, retiring with the best pension for his short working life. Even if you live nowadays, Royal London will treat you with the values of the past. Ask your financial advisor about them. Or the internet.
Ever had a moment when you realise just how much you care about the things you own?
Right, where shall we start?
At More Than, we've introduced a new way to buy home insurance. We start by asking you how much you want to pay, and together we'll help build the perfect cover for your home.
Thank you for talking me through everything.
Happy to help.
More Than, where you mean more.
I wanted things easy, like those Brazilians. So, I became a beach towel. Every day I get put in a bag, carried to the beach. I might do the odd bit of samba. Then just lay out, you know, like a towel. Turns out all I needed for a taste of the easy life, purple, was one of these new Brazilian barbecues. You just add water, life's a beach, and I intend to sit on it. New Brazilian barbecue steak flavour, why try harder?
It's like love, cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins, breathe it in your lungs will stay. It's like love.
Discover even more of Australia with Etihad Airways. Fly to Perth from £730 return and see even more of Australia with an Etihad Sky Pass. There's nothing like Australia with Etihad Airways.
Home of betting.
The Gladiators are entering the arena. Isuzu D-Max sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League.
If you're listening carefully, you might be able to tell by their accents that this team isn't from around these parts. They're actually from near Marseille in France, here on an exchange trip at Stanningly Amateur Rugby League Club. Now, maybe they're hoping for some of the Stanningly magic to rub off, because this club has produced some great players over the years, including this week's guest. He went on to become captain of his country. He's Jamie Peacock, and he's talking to Barry McDermott.
Welcome to Super League Superstars, and to my guest this week, the most successful player in the history of Super League, Jamie Peacock. Jamie, welcome.
Cheers, Pass.
We're here at Stanningly, and that's perhaps the beginning of your story, huge story that it is. So tell us about growing up in the Big Apple, as it is, in Bramley, just outside Leeds?
Yeah, I'm always going to be grateful for Stanley for giving me a start in rugby league. And how I started was I was at primary school, someone brought in a letter saying, do you want to come down and play for Stanley? And it was 10p subs to come back and join way back when. And I came down, instantly loved the game. I had no real history in my family of playing rugby league, and then started playing. My dad became the coach of the team, and stayed at Stanley all the way through. You know, I think I was quite lucky that I got to play open age rugby. I didn't sign at 16 like a lot of other people. I played open age. I had the crack with the open age team. I was playing.
The crack. What's the
crack? You know. Explain the crack.
That.
So my weekend, right. My weekend would be when I was about 16, 17, 18. Is that I'd be working and I go out Friday night, a few pints, then come and play for the Stanley Open Age, and then obviously you go out, you have a great time with the Open Age, and then a few more beers, and then I get up and play for the under-18s on a Sunday, and a couple more beers, then back to work. So it was a great time in my life actually playing in Stanley and growing up all the way through.
Yeah, and I think, and obviously you're a very intense character, you're very passionate about the game, but those early days must have been about enjoyment, pure enjoyment.
Yeah, they were. I think that's what's allowed me to play for so long.